Welcome to the Sitco Bros Podcast.
Good evening. Welcome to the Zip Code Bros. Ben, episode 18?
Yes.
All right, cool. I still, every week, I still check in with you. I don't know what. But today we are doing the Macho Man. Notice how I didn't go quite macho in that one. Not spoiler, but a foreshadowing alert. But today, unfortunately, Mr. AJ is not with us. So in his place, we got two special guests, Mr. Pondwater Dave and Mr. Adam from Bama.
Hello, hello. Thank you for having me.
And of course, my son, Michael. You can say hello.
Hey, Michael.
What's up, Mikey?
All right.
What position? You got a baseball glove? What position you play?
I play first base.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's awesome, dude. Stick with first base. It's awesome.
What else do you play?
Pitcher?
Yeah,
Pitcher.
that's right.
That's awesome. And my son plays, and he's a lefty, so he
Ooh.
pitches.
Very nice. Cool. All right, buddy.
Where's righty?
Be careful out there, okay?
See you, Mikey.
Later, Mikey.
Hi, Mikey.
Baseball, I got 7 strikeouts.
Love you.
Rock 'em out. Yeah. Striking.
I'm thinking striking out. Oh, yeah. All right.
It's quite fitting. It's quite fitting that he showed up with the baseball glove because Macho Man used to play.
No, that is very true. And I always thought he made the majors. Somebody did a really, really good fake card, and I thought it was real for like the longest time. And and then obviously when Wikipedia and stuff came out, you started reading about what actually happened. He's like, yeah, I made them played in the minor leagues, but I never played in the majors. But what would have been? What would have been? Imagine that intensity and not an after school promo, a post game interview with Macho Man after he hits a walk-off home run. Could you imagine that raspy voice?
Could you imagine him getting first base? And, oh, yeah, right there in the middle of home plate.
I never could imagine him as a team player.
What?
I never imagined Macho Man as a team player.
I could see it because it would be different. He'd be the coach, and he'd be hauling everybody, get on base.
Get on base. Get on. Hey,
I guess through most of his career, I mean, even when he was in a tag team, it was standoffish at all times. It was like he always struck me as a loner.
Strike him out. Yeah.
Like maybe he didn't have 100% trust in anybody.
Could be.
So he made
Definitely.
it to the minor league, didn't he?
Yes.
Like
I believe he
71.
played for the Cincinnati Reds minor league system.
Like, because he was like born in what, 1952?
52.
So a year older than Hogan. So in that 70s minor leagues was quite the system. I think not too familiar.
Who is the Cincinnati Reds minor league team? I know down here in Alabama, the Birmingham Barons go to the Chicago White Sox. Then we also have the Trash Pandas. But who is the Cincinnati Reds minor league team?
Good question. That might be a question for Mr. JD if we need to get him on.
The Cardinals.
Cardinals.
He played from 1971. Those are the wrong glasses. From 71, he played for the 71 and 72, played for the Cardinals in the Gulf League. And then he played for Orangeburg in the WCRS, then back to the Redbirds in the Gulf League. And then he finished up in Tampa in the Florida League. So he played on all levels. He played 4 seasons.
What blows my mind is how he was able to switch the way he threw the ball. Because I threw right-handed and I tried to do left-handed and it didn't work out at all. I don't see how he was able to do that, and it's amazing. Only for him to do that just blows my mind how he was able to do that.
So the Cincinnati Red affiliates are the Arizona Complex League Reds, Daytona Torquettes, it's a low A, Dayton Dragons, Chattanooga Lookouts, and Louisville Bats.
Chattanooga
Yeah,
Lookouts.
they've been
He was-
different. I mean, they minor leagues changed and changed and changed. I want to say it might have been Louisville. I want to say they might have been the Redbirds or something like that. Memphis Redbirds, I think he played for.
Well, let's see. I clicked on it. It's the GCL Redbirds,
Oh, you're right. Okay, the GCL Redbirds.
Gulf
So-
Coast League Redbirds, affiliated with the St. Louis Cardinals, located in Florida.
Okay, that's something else.
He his career batting average was 254.
It's not bad, really.
No, it's not bad at all.
Not bad at all. I've seen worse.
Right?
And he was an
I bet you-
outfielder and a catcher.
I bet you he was a hell of an outfielder.
Yeah. Even as a catcher, a guy can if you can catch and hit 254, you're going to be in the major leagues for a long time.
6'1" seems awful tall for a catcher.
Yeah.
All right, so you're rounding third base and you're going towards home, and you see Macho Man standing there guarding that plate. What do you do?
Stop short and back up.
Give him a Slim Jim.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Give him a Slim Jim.
Snap into it.
Imagine what we would have lost had he played baseball.
Because that was his first love, wasn't it?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah,
Which
because
kinda
all his documentaries said that baseball's forgotten about him, so he's forgot about baseball, or he's done with it. I think that's how he said it.
Oh, okay.
And then he got in to wrestling in like 73.
Yeah, with his dad's promotion.
Yeah. IWICW, is it?
I believe it was ICW.
Yeah.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
And he was there for a long time, and then those southern promotions, and then made his way up to WWF
Memphis first.
Memphis in 82. What?
He came to New York in 85.
Yeah. So Memphis for a few years, so like probably 80 to 80.
It seems like so little ago when you talk about 85, 86, but I was almost 40 years ago.
Yeah.
That stuff is insane. Like I was born in 82 and I'm 41 years old, but like I think of 85, 86 as like yesterday, I guess, because of my age.
Because Bama, what year were you born?
84.
Yeah.
I graduated high school in 84.
So-
His first gimmick was a character called the Spider. It was also similar. It was similar to Spider-Man.
Yes, I actually wrote that down, Dave.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Well, it's kind of fitting that now that we have Spider-Man on this recording.
Well,
It was funny because he was in the actual movie as Bonesaw in the Spider-Man movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so fun.
He also went by the Big Gino, which I didn't know that until just now.
The Big Gino. What kind of gimmick was that? Can only imagine. Some
Oh, yeah.
weird
Well, who's Little Gino?
spaghetti and meatballs.
I was gonna say maybe like a little twist of that. Like remember that the 99 Macho Man, kind of like a spin off of that.
Yeah. I can see that. Like when he dressed in all black, the black bandana and stuff. Yeah, I can see that, bro. Yeah.
Without the bandana, actually, with like there's the sunglasses, the fancy shirt.
Oh,
the
yeah.
hair back in the
The headband.
ponytail.
Yeah, had like the headband or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. We usually talk about different versions of every wrestler, and I don't know, was that really a different version of the Macho Man? I mean,
Mega Power. Let's say
you can talk heel Macho, you can talk like Mega Powers Macho and stuff like that. But did he really ever really reinvent himself? Say like a Mankind did with the 3 different characters, or Chris Jericho has.
I mean, the only thing that changed was his wardrobe, really.
Yeah.
it got better. He could afford better.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
he's got there's an action figure that's coming out from Zombie. I think it's Zombie Sailor. I think it's Zombie. Yeah, Zombie Sailor's doing one in conjunction with his wardrobe, with his costume maker.
Oh
And
no.
it's the white and blue one with the white hat and the blue and the tassels, and it's going to be one of those little.
Was that WrestleMania 7?
I don't know. I don't remember seeing what WrestleMania it was.
Or was it his wedding one?
See if I can find
It
it.
sounds it sounds like WrestleMania 7.
Yeah, I'm trying to think because he had the white cowboy hat, like the purple.
I think white and purple.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yes.
sweet. 'Cause I think the WWE did a Mattel, defining moments. I think that was one of the one. What's the matter, Big Will?
I guess since it's not too much.
Sorry.
There's a lot of neat stuff released today by Mattel coming out of Comic-Con. So
What were you saying, Bama?
I'm sitting here reading some of Randy Savage's bio and stuff, and I didn't know his first match was not for his dad.
Really? Who was it for?
It says right here just Midwest territory. In the Midwest territory, it doesn't say who, but
his dad may have sent him to have his first match somewhere before putting him on, then calling it his first match for him. Because Mike Von Erich was supposedly debuted at Reunion Arena in '83, but he had already had a match in San Antonio on a non-televised event. It was like a dress rehearsal.
Oh wow.
So
I
I
guess
suppose that makes sense, doesn't it?
unless I'm just reading it wrong. But his first match was against Golden Boy Paul Christie, is what it says on his what's this called?
on his
Wikipedia.
wiki. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would have
Ole
been 1973.
73.
Does it say 73? Yeah.
Yep.
So he was only 21. Wow.
If not 20, I mean, depending on because when his birthday is. What's his birthday again?
November 15th, 1952.
So for early,
So he wrestled for the Eastern Tennessee Territory run by Nick Goulas.
he might
And
be
then his dad, it says his dad didn't feel like he was getting the push he needed. So that's when he come up with the International Championship Wrestling.
The original Outlaw Mud Show.
Yeah.
Did you ever go to Pondwater? Did you ever go to any of their shows?
No, I don't think. I'm trying to think how old I was the first time I saw any wrestling outside of Texas. Went to a show outside of Texas.
Yeah, but if you grow up on Texas wrestling, then you go out of town to go watch it, is it kind of like a letdown? Because Texas wrestling was so huge back then.
Trying to think where I would have watched. Well, I think the only other wrestling I watched was Crockett if I was out of town. And that wasn't not a letdown at all.
Oh, okay. If it was Crockett, then that's a different ballgame. Yeah, I got
I mean, with World Class, we were all pretty happy with World Class until we got cable and started seeing different areas, and then realizing just how. I mean, Bill Mercer, as good of a broadcaster he is, was not a great play-by-play wrestling announcer. And once you heard Shivani and Gordon Soley and David Crockett and all them, you realize that your television broadcaster is not on the same level.
Gordon Soley, man, just unreal. Ah, so good.
Dave, did you get to see Macho Man live?
If I did, I don't remember it. Because I know I went to a WCW show, but I have no recollection of who was on it. If I dug into it, I could probably find out, but I honestly don't remember. Because when the WWF shows that I went to that came to Dallas were before Savage. So I honestly don't have any memory of seeing him live, if I did. And I've thought about that before. I can't pin down that I ever did.
I was a youngster when I first watched WWF. And, when you live in Alabama, where do they come to? Huntsville or Birmingham? And a lot of the big names are not going to come down to Birmingham. But I do have a couple of pictures where Hogan's in the ring. And I actually have, I don't know if you can see, I'm holding a Randy Savage the foam finger.
There you go.
That's cool.
And this was, let's see, I don't know when they were made, but I was a young kid here. No, there's no year on it, but I was a toddler. This is back when Hulkamania was running wild all over me.
That's fantastic.
I totally forgot I had them.
Jeez, you get memory slipping.
Getting old, brother. I don't know if you can see Hogan standing there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You need to scan those and put them on social media.
Yeah, that's pretty neat, man. That's really neat.
Another picture of the finger.
When you
I
said
totally forgot about these.
that's not what I was expecting.
No, that's on the other side when we no, never mind.
That's awesome.
I think
So, yep.
I can't tell if that's Randy Savage right there or not.
I mean,
It's hard to
blurry as
tell.
hell, but it could be Kurt Hennig. I don't know what year it was.
No, it looks like tassels. I have to send y'all a better picture of it, but it looks. I don't know. It could be,
Not-
man. Hang on.
Warrior? Maybe Warrior with the tassels?
No,
Yeah,
don't curse me like that. No.
Well, I was gonna say I don't think Macho Man had tassels until like the early '90s.
Hey, you're right. You're probably right. Which I was about 90, probably right here.
Yeah.
91.
Or Kerry Von Erich?
Ah, it might be the tornado.
Texas Tornado. Oh, good call.
Yeah, wouldn't that be something?
That'd be better than Warrior.
Yeah. Isn't it weird how that? I mean, isn't it weird how that ages? Because you go back to 1990, and the Warrior is the Warrior. And 30
Yeah.
years later or 40 years later, it's like, oh, I'd rather you have seen the Warrior rather than Kerry Von Erich. I mean, vice versa.
I'd say you're sitting there cussing right there in front of Dave. What you doing?
I'm looking when WWF came through Dallas, and I wouldn't have, and Macho wasn't on any of those cards, so I wouldn't have seen him if I went.
I don't know what happened to James.
That's okay.
He's probably getting some ice cream. Oh, you guys don't get that joke. We were on the Ron Reese Zoom right before we started recording tonight, and Jimmy decided he was going for ice cream during the Zoom. But instead of turning his camera off, he gets like up close like this, and he's eating his ice cream, and he's got like a little fudge on his shit. It's like, dude. And so like he's in the chat and everybody's like, Jimmy, clean your face off. He's like, I can eat ice cream how I want. I said, yeah, you can eat ice cream however you want, but you don't have to show everybody else. Here he comes. Hey,
All right.
Hey, James, you eating ice cream or what?
No,
No, you're
my computer glitched.
Oh, okay. I
You
just
didn't
told
spill ice cream on it, did you?
No. No, my computer just glitched out of nowhere. I couldn't do nothing.
I scream, you scream, we all scream for Jimmy to wipe off his freaking face.
What kind of ice cream was it anyway, Jimmy?
Chocolate. I was like, what the fuck did I call it?
Chocolate, what the fuck they call it?
It's
No,
okay. My
Ben
granddaddy
and
would say,
Jerry's new chocolate, what the fuck do I call it?
Brand new from Ben and Jerry's.
I'm gonna say it's a new segment.
Oh,
Ice cream review.
Yeah.
yeah, what
Just
is
comes in
Jimmy
a
eating
mystery-
this time?
just comes in a mystery box, and on the front of the case it says, what the fuck is it?
It comes in a white container with no label.
It just says ice cream on it.
Mhm.
You know, a white container with the words ice cream in black and a barcode.
Yeah.
with a wooden spoon, and that's all you get.
Yeah.
Fun. So James, I told him the ice cream story from today, the Ron Reese Zoom.
Was it Reese's Pieces? No, I'm just kidding.
Waka waka.
I was gonna say
Actually-
we already jump into our trade-off segment tonight.
I got to meet Big Ron Reese at a wrestling show back when I was still wrestling actually in the ring. And you, nicest guy. I mean, you talk about just a sweetheart of a man. I mean, you're thinking this 7-foot guy is probably mean, and you talk about just soft-spoken, real nice guy. I mean, it was great. It was a pleasure to meet him.
That's cool to hear. He was really nice on the Zoom. He answered everybody's question, was really kind to everybody. Made
Yeah,
jokes.
had time for you, answered it.
Yeah,
He didn't
absolutely,
shortcut you none.
Who asked him if he butt fucked Hogan? I know somebody did.
He kind of brought it up on his own right up
Did he?
front. Yeah. He's
Well,
like,
he's bragging about it.
they say like something like, don't give a reverse bear hug or something like that. He's like, never ever give a reverse bear hug. And they're talking about it, and he's like, nah, it's me, okay, it'll look cool. And he's like, so I went out there, and he's like talking about how when the thing exploded, he was worried the toilet paper that he was wrapped up with was going to go on fire. But it was a fun Zoom, man. It was really cool to be on with him.
Yeah, sweetheart of a guy, man. It was right after it was either during or right after the Raven Flock deal.
Oh, that's cool. So it was right after WCW.
Yeah, it was actually Big Ron Reese then. So
Oh, that's awesome. Dave,
me,
you ever-
him, and the Sarge. Sarge is great too. God, Sarge is intense.
Oh, I bet.
Buddy Lee Parker?
Yes. Ran the power plant.
Yeah.
Ah, man, so intense.
I bet. Dave, do you have any run-ins with Ron Reese at all?
Never.
No?
No, until the podcast, I didn't know him. I didn't know what his name was.
Oh, no kidding.
Because I remembered the Yeti.
Right.
He'll always be known as the Yeti,
The Yeti. It's crazy.
unfortunately.
Hopefully he gets the royalties for the Yeti.
What royalties?
No, you're missing the
You're
Yeti
talking about the
cup,
the cups.
cups, the
Yeah.
coolers,
Ah.
that name brand,
Okay.
The coolers and crap.
the overpriced stuff.
Yeah, it makes them cool. It makes them really good. Just insulate. And that's the best way to call it. Is like insulated cans.
An overpriced igloo.
Oh God, yeah, they're extremely expensive.
Yeah, they're extremely worth it though.
I've
mean-
I've not yet had the pleasure of owning one yet.
The bigger ones will hold ice for several days.
Oh wow.
I mean, very little melting going on in there.
Do you have one, or did you borrow one of Conrad's?
I don't know if Conrad's got a Yeti or not. No, I live in Mississippi. Everybody has Yetis.
Mhm.
It's on our Christmas list.
Oh, that's awesome.
I got
It's kind of like Nebraska and corn cobs. It's on the Christmas list.
So I guess those are the type of coolers that fishermen put their ice on. The fish and ice them on, right? And they bring them back.
That's the kind of ice chest that when you go camping,
Put your beer in it.
you put your beer in there.
Put your beer. Oh,
I mean, you
Adam's
could.
case- or in Adam's case, Dr. Thunder.
Exactly.
Because he don't get that Dr. Pepper, he gets that Dr. Thunder.
Let's say, is that the store brand? Dr.
That's the
Pepper?
Walmart brand.
Yeah.
Right.
Fun story real quick. When we have Bama on, he and I stayed in St. Louis. I bought a big thing of bought some sodas, the actual name brand, like Dr. Pepper, Mountain Dew, all that jazz. He comes in with Dr. Thunder and
Gatorade or something.
Gatorade, and does not drink any of the Dr. Thunder. I'm like, I bought these for you. I bought the Dr. Peppers for you because you drank them.
Well, I don't like imposing on other people's stuff. So, and plus the kids were with me, so I just.
And I didn't realize you brought Dr. Thunder.
Oh yeah, I always got them. If I go anywhere, I'm gonna have that in my cup.
And that was like the first time we hung out outside of Top Guy weekend.
Yeah, that's the trip that you asked me if I sleep in my shoes.
And he'll never let me live it down.
Just literally asked me right in front of my kids and said, "You sleep in your tennis shoes?"
It's a fair
Just
question.
out of the blue.
It's a weird question.
Well,
I
he was
normally lead. I normally lead with that one.
I wish I could say that's the weirdest thing he's ever asked, but we won't talk about that.
Well, it's probably not
All
even
right.
the top 10 of the weirdest things he's ever asked.
One day there'll have to be a podcast.
Oh boy.
Top 10 Sorensen moments.
Oh my god. We all know who won't be listening to it, and that's James Elkorai. Who tells me every single time I talk to him, gee, thanks for putting Jimmy Sorensen on a podcast. Oh man. Jimmy, I love your shirt.
Jimmy, just tell him next time, just say, well, your podcast is my show.
Yeah, it's not your show no more. It's my show.
Yeah.
Exactly. I still Jimmy, that those two belts look good over your shoulders.
Thank
Yeah, that US
Wow.
belt's always fun to look at.
I like that big gold, except for the nameplate.
you do
Who's on it?
Hogan.
Hogan,
Um,
Bischoff, Sting, X-Pac.
You got a nameplate for X-Pac for the big gold?
Oh, no. I thought you meant signature. Sorry.
Oh,
No, I'm talking about the
just the
nameplate.
nameplate. Yeah.
You got X-Pac to sign that?
Yeah, when we were in Dallas for the Super Show.
Oh, no kidding. That's awesome.
He showed up to the shenanigans thing that Kevin Nash didn't show up to.
Oh, okay. Well, at least you got X-Pac out of it.
Cream of the crop.
And then Bobby got it signed by Sting at the Royal Rumble last. So
Yeah, I remember that. It's Sting. All Bobby kept saying was, it's Sting.
love Bobby to death, but yeah.
That's kind of like how we feel when you talk about Japan, my friend.
You're welcome.
I'm just saying, hey, look, we love Jimmy, but I mean, enough's enough, buddy. No, I'm only kidding, my friend.
Next time Jimmy's on my show, I'm gonna introduce him. I'm gonna have a little sound bite goes da 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 dun 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 dun.
I'll get a wig and have it in a ponytail.
Oh my god.
oh boy.
Now we're just
Anyway, moving on.
exactly. But so we kind of just like talking about especially a guy like the Macho Man. We have guys from all different kind of generations here. When were you first introduced to the Macho Man? Jimmy, let's start with you, my friend. When were you first introduced to the Macho Man?
2002 when it was Bonesaw and Spider-Man.
Okay. So did you know that was Macho Man? Like, the way that people knew, like,
I
a lot
didn't.
of people know who Hulk Hogan is, the Ultimate Warrior is growing up, just people outside, Stone Cold, people outside of the wrestling fandom world. Did you know Macho Man before? So like, yeah, that's Macho Man. And
Honestly, when it came to wrestling, like I didn't even know who Hulk Hogan was until I looked at the VHS of Three Ninjas, one of the Three Ninjas movies.
oh no,
Or this is High Noon, I think it was.
Yeah, Mountain or something like that. I was 2002, 5. I was 4 or 5 years old, and so
Wow.
But years later, after when I was in, I watched YouTube clips of Macho Man from the Mega Powers to Cream of the Crop to the Slim Jim commercials to
yeah.
Wonder how many kids today only know Randy Savage from Slim Jim commercials.
That's a good question.
Spider-Man.
I mean, you'd see him and they see him, and then they see a tape of him wrestling. There's like, that's the guy on the Slim Jim box.
Yeah.
That's the Slim Jim guy.
Because he's still very present in supermarkets.
Oh, heck yeah. I was in Walmart today and I'm walking out and they had the beef jerky on the left-hand side and there was the Slim Jim with Macho Man's face on the cover.
Yeah.
I know Warhorse is trying to do something like that. When Warhorse comes to the ring, everybody will take Slim Jims and throw them into the ring and throw it at him.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That's cool. He's a nice dude. I met him a few years ago.
What promotion does he wrestle for? Warhorse?
He does a lot of independent stuff.
Yeah, I've been on a show with Warhorse before in Mississippi. I think it was for Battle Zone.
He
Okay,
came.
so he's an indie guy.
He came to Nebraska for Zello Pro. After Top Guy Weekend, it was like 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later after Top Guy Weekend won.
Wasn't he on AEW or early in their run?
Yeah.
He was. Yeah, he was in there once or twice.
Yeah.
He was. I seen him in the Haas tournament down here for New South.
Is he a big jacked up guy or is he like a smaller guy?
He reminds
Average-
me of a
average.
smaller Tatanka.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a fair comparison.
Okay. All right.
He always reminds me of Tatanka.
Or like a smaller John Hennigan.
He's a little
Mm.
thicker than Hennigan.
Yeah, he's much thicker than Hennigan. He's more like Tatanka to me.
Okay.
I'm not talking about just talking about his initial when you see him.
Yeah. Totally.
That's a good one.
Yeah, the Haas tournament, he had red and yellow, so he actually had the Slim Jim colors on with his uniform, or with his tights and whatnot.
Ben, what about you? What was your first introduction to the Macho Man?
I mean, my first memories is like Dave Shirt, the Mega Powers.
Are you
You know,
back?
him and Elizabeth. The Mega Powers versus the Twin Towers.
Just
The
let it
Mega
go.
Powers versus the natural disasters.
Oh, right on.
That was my first memory of Randy Savage, is because I was a huge Hogan fan. I
Yeah.
was a big Hulkamaniac. Had the 24-inch Python poster on the side on the bed. I had the curtains, the Hogan Rules or whatever curtains. I was the Hulkamaniac. And that's how I got to know Macho Man, through Hogan.
So did you
So
follow him as you kept going?
Yeah, and I've been a Hulkamaniac ever since.
Nice.
so when Macho Man like said the line, "You have lust in your eyes for Elizabeth."
I didn't
Like,
know what lust was back then. I didn't see nothing in his eyes. He can see pretty good, I think.
Yeah, when he said you got lust in your eyes, I was thinking, who doesn't? Have you seen her?
Yeah. Yeah. Very true.
What is Eli Drake? Not Eli Drake.
yeah,
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
yeah.
That's the weirdest thing, man. Do it again, Jimmy.
yeah.
Yeah, thanks. That's
Yeah.
weird, but it's like it's annoyingly cool.
So fun fact, Bama and I were there when he came when he kind of did his first promo.
Oh, no kidding.
It was in New Orleans.
Yeah. Is that how he says it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after the show was over for like 30 minutes straight, Bama was just roasting me as Eli Drake.
Dude, Eli Drake back in NWA was awesome. I mean, he was.
As LA Knight.
He's always been really good on the mic.
Yeah.
But they said the other day that he did a workout video, Triple H's workout video in 2014. You can hear him say, yeah.
Oh,
So he's been doing it for 10 years.
Dummy. Yeah.
Apparently he did a lot of work for WWE. I mean, even when he wasn't wrestling there, like just developing their video games, he was the body guy.
Oh, no kidding.
Because he said that when you watch R-Truth's entrance on the game, he did the body, whatever the body scans for it.
That's
The-
cool.
He goes, I don't know if they want everybody to know that, but he goes, I wasn't even working for them, and I was doing most of the body work on their video games.
That's pretty cool. That's a cool little trivia note.
Mhm. Wait, Bama, how does it go again?
Yeah. Gotta put a little, got oomph in it. Gotta put a little oomph in it.
Mr. Jones. What about you? What about
Yeah.
your first intro to Macho Man?
When he debuted in WWE and he had all the heel managers come out of the locker room, they came down to the ring to sort of scout him because he was in his promos, he would say that he's the #1 free agent. And that got a lot of interest from all the managers. So that over the next few weeks, they were trying to sort of sign him. And then he obviously bought out Elizabeth to be his manager. So, and I remember he would go on the TNT talk shows with Vince and he would come out wearing a shirt that said Hulk Boo with a question mark. So just complete arrogance, but
Did you know
good
him
stuff.
before he came into the WWF? So
No.
he was a brand new character to you. Like, okay, this is a brand new
Yeah.
guy. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I didn't even know that he was in the Memphis territory until years later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time I hear I think of Bama because that's how he does it.
That's cool.
Pondwater, how about you?
1985, maybe when he came to the WWF. That's when I probably didn't pay much attention to him when he was first on TV, but I had a computer game, the WWF computer game that I was playing on my Commodore, and he was heavily featured in it. And it wasn't like live action; it was like animated stills. Like you'd give it a command, and you'd see a picture of him and drop the elbow. He'd be on the top rope, and it was just a neat game.
Did
But
you
I
ever,
didn't even. I mean, I was probably aware of him from the aftermags, and I can remember that I wasn't all that impressed with him. And then he was the world champion, and then I was like, well, maybe he's better than I think he is. I just remember I was impressed with Elizabeth. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
who was it?
But it's just I remember. I didn't see him as a threat to Hogan, and then obviously he was a threat to Hogan. So really came to it surprised me. But the WWF is my first exposure to him, and then the rest was history going through WCW to the end.
Did you ever play? I think it was for like either NES or for Nintendo's the first like Sega Genesis. I think it was like WWF Superstars or.
I didn't have a Genesis, and I remember I really wasn't into the WWF games on Nintendo, but I had the one that I can't remember what the name of the game was, but the main character that you could always win with was Starman.
Oh yeah. Was it just like pro wrestling? Something
It was just I was wrestling, and it had Starman was the character that I played all the time because you could do top rope stuff with him. And
yeah, I think it was just called pro wrestling.
I think it might have been Tecmo.
It was Tecmo Wrestling. Yeah, I think that's what it was. It was Tecmo Pro Wrestling. Yeah.
Yeah, because I
Yeah,
used to play
remember
because I like Tecmo Bowl. Played a lot of Tecmo football, Tecmo baseball. So, but just that being Starman, I mean, that was, and then I don't think I played a WWF game up until the early 2000s with the first version of Raw
Okay.
for the Xbox. And I remember you could upload, you could put your own music on it.
Yeah, you could.
And I created my own character, and you couldn't, and they would introduce you, whatever you typed. But Dave wasn't an option, so it had to be Super David. So I created my character but I had him do a Shawn Michaels entrance, and I used the song "You Can Leave Your Hat On."
Oh,
and it worked so good with it.
Dude, I got a great story to that freaking song. So I'm hanging out with this girl, and she's telling me about that. She would do like dances for her exes and stuff like that, and I don't know, whatever. Like we were joking on, and that song came on the radio, and we were out, and I was wearing like a Frank Sinatra type hat, like a fedora. She
Fedora?
grabs the hat, she puts it on, starts doing this dance for me. So you can leave your hat on, and, dude. I was
9.5 weeks just made your average everyday housewife a stripper. It's an awesome thing.
That was it.
Slow clap for Kim Basinger.
Oh, geez, yeah.
It was just, it was phenomenal. So
Bama was just taking notes.
Bama doesn't need notes. Bama needs to write a book. That's what Bama needs to do.
There you go.
What would he call it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Jimmy, you're right. It was the Nintendo game was WWF Superstars.
Like the reason I know this is I have a stepbrother who passed away a few years ago.
Sorry.
No, well, he introduced me to that game, and I remember playing that at his trailer when I was younger, and I remember like this is kind of like I don't think I played as Macho Man, but I played against him as I think Shawn Michaels, and just this moveset on that game. So campy, but so great for its time.
Oh, it was awesome for its time.
Like,
WCW put a Nintendo game out. That was great. I thought that was the greatest thing in the world.
Now, I did play a lot of WWF coin-op games. I mean, they had the tag team one, and
yeah.
I think
That's
they had a Royal
Warhorse
Rumble
right
one
there,
too.
Gallagher.
Oh, right on.
for those of the just audio, we have a picture of Bama and Warhorse together.
Even more.
Sorry, Dave.
No,
you're
don't
good.
be sorry. I was going to say even more so why that y'all have to watch the video version so you can see Warhorse and my man Bama. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that shows up on the video though. If you turn your camera off like that.
I just changed that setting where I think sometimes it does.
Okay.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I love that show. Figure it out.
For those of you who aren't watching this visual, I'm giving Ben 2 middle fingers right now.
Thank you very much.
Hey, he's showing
Speaking of fingers,
he's showing him a bird.
I'm telling him he's number one.
2 times.
Two times.
2 times.
Bama did that on my birthday.
Oh,
I did that to Big Red.
I do
last
it every
night.
day. It's just I don't tell you about it.
GCW. That GCW event we went to. Remember I had to take a picture
You
without
got
it?
several birds that day.
Mike, when was your first exposure to Macho Man?
WrestleMania 4 was my first exposure to Monster.
Oh,
Yeah, him and DiBiase.
Yeah, when I first kind of started watching wrestling, when I first got into it, he was the champ, 89. So WrestleMania 4, I learned about him, and then WrestleMania 5 was really kind of like the first WrestleMania I was aware of.
Were you with you being in that New York, New Jersey area?
Yeah.
Were you able to go to 4 or 5 at all, or 5 or 6 or whatever?
No, I was such a little guy. I was maybe 4 or 5. My uncle was watching it. That's how I kind of got into. Actually, that's not kind of how I got into it. That's how I got into it. My uncle Donald watched wrestling and got me and my brother into it. But no, I didn't get a chance. That is the only event I've yet to go to was WrestleMania. And I've had the chance many times because I mean there was 11 in Connecticut. There was there was 10 at the Garden. There was 11 at Connecticut. There was MSG for 20. What's that?
You could have ran into Ben at 20.
Right, that would have been awesome. I don't have many regrets in my life, but this is one regret I had. The first WrestleMania and in Dallas, in the Cowboy Stadium, the first one.
32.
Yeah, I was in I flew into Dallas Monday, and I could have flew into Dallas on Saturday and went to WrestleMania, but I'm like, nah, I don't want to waste the money. And I'm like, I kick myself every single day about it because it was a work trip. So all I had to pay for was the extra day at the hotel and then my ticket to WrestleMania. And I would have that would have been it. And I'm like, dude, you're a moron.
I
So
mean,
that's the only, and I forgot what was the main event of that one, Jimmy?
Triple H versus Roman Reigns.
That's Triple H. That's right.
But the probably the match of that card was probably Taker, Shane McMahon,
Oh, that's right. What else was on that card?
Brock Dean Ambrose.
Okay.
The reason I know this because so when I was in high school, my prom was on Sundays. Prom was on Sundays. So that year, my senior year, prom was on WrestleMania Sunday. So I'm kind of watching. I'm actually during dinner. I had my phone popped up to kind of watch a little bit of it while we were eating.
And the correct answer is the Charlotte three-way match was the best match on the card.
That's fair.
It was Charlotte, Sasha, and Becky, right?
Yes.
But as someone who was able to see a Mania in Dallas, I mean, Pondwater had better seats than I did, but just to be there and the nosebleeds was still pretty cool because I had the jumbotron. But Pondwater was way down. He was big shining like he was Mr. Texas.
I was on the floor and I couldn't see shit. I had to look up at the screen.
I'll never forget the first floor seat I got. I'm like, oh, dude, it's a floor seat. It's great. We were 6 rows back. I couldn't see nothing.
Front or second row or third row, but you have to get.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Or you just get it. You just go to start level 100 where you start going slightly up.
It was my 50th birthday, and
That's awesome.
my two best friends upgraded us to ringside.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
That's
And
awesome.
the day before he got chopped.
You got what?
Remember
No, that was a different WrestleMania.
No. At the shenanigans thing, he got chopped or by somebody or like
That was last year.
he got chopped at shenanigans.
It wasn't shenanigans. It was at the live show at Gillies.
It was Gillies, but shenanigans was still Gillies. It was in that little because it was Gillies nonetheless, but it was like
It was Gillies. It wasn't shenanigans.
Just say yes, sir.
Seriously, just. I think he wants to know if you got hit somewhere.
I got hit last year. I didn't get hit. I didn't get hit on my 50th birthday.
no, it was the day before. Like you got it was like you were drunk.
Okay, so
Austin,
Macho Man.
We're talking about two different
My
WrestleManias.
American
We're
Nightmare.
talking about 38. I was talking about like it was no. Talk about
I'm
later.
talking about 32.
I was talking about 38.
You said that the main event was Triple H and Roman Reigns.
Yeah, no, I was talking about when you got chopped. When you got chopped.
Oh, I got chopped at 38.
I was talking about the day before at 38.
Jimmy, I'm old. Don't you can't.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mr. Mega Powers.
Bye.
No, so floor seats, I haven't had the privilege of having any kind of floor seats. But when I got to go to SummerSlam, me and Frank, a couple other people got to go. He got us to where it wasn't on the floor, but right when the lower section started going up, it was elevated just enough where we could see over everybody. Perfect seats.
Those are the best.
They
Those
are.
were
Be on the first risers. Yes. If you can't be on the front row, first 2 rows, because everybody stands up, you can't see anything.
Yeah.
Well, when we were in New Orleans, we were kind of in the lower bowl.
Yeah, that's about where we were for SummerSlam, maybe about 4 or 5 rows back. But it was amazing, man. Oh God, man. I wouldn't mind going to another pay-per-view like that. That was awesome.
Hey, Bama, how's your new job?
Which one?
1, 2, 3.
As we record, like I said, I'll have my first match this coming up Saturday in Huntsville, Alabama for New South Wrestling.
That's fantastic, my man.
Keep a journal. Write down everybody that you get to work with. I started out doing that, and I got away from it really quick. And I look back on it now, and I wish that I would have kept a journal all the way along the way.
So I wish I would have kept a journal when I started training and was actually in the ring with people. Because I can't remember anybody I wrestled hardly anymore.
That's what I'm saying. So with refereeing, and because you'll work with more people. Instead of one time a night, you'll be out there 3 times a night, and maybe if you're the only, sometimes you'll be the only referee, you'll be out there 6 or 7 times a night. So
I didn't even think about that. Jeez.
to try to keep track of who you work with, get pictures whenever you can. It used to be frowned on taking pictures in the locker room, but that was everybody now they're kind of into, get the picture.
Yeah, and I know another thing, you don't have to go around and shake everybody's hand every single time. I mean, if you just walked in there and then walked out and walked back in, you ain't got to go around shaking hands.
I know you do it once a show.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. I know a lot of
You'd be
people.
surprised how many people I'll shake hands with twice though, because I'd rather get them twice than forget them once.
There you go. I agree. But when I started training, I was shown how to do the old limp wrist handshake. The little hold your hand out and barely, and that meant it shows how you work or whatever. So the lighter your handshake, the lighter you are to work in the ring.
Yeah, I just shake hands with them because I'm hitting that mat pretty hard.
Bama hated me.
That's not working. They're not working counts.
Bama hated me at Top Guy weekend.
I'm shoot counting.
Adam hated me at Top Guy weekend
Why was that?
when I was really stiff with the lockup.
Oh no, that was Big Booty Judy's the one that didn't like you. She'd take 2 or 3 times quit being so damn stiff.
We did too.
But no, this Saturday is the Bunkhouse Stampede for New South Wrestling. As we recorded, it'll be July 22nd, which I don't know when this will drop, but
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, so it'll be at the Salty Nut Brewery in Huntsville, Alabama. Doors open 6:30, bell time 7:30. We got a bunch of matches on here. We got Kinsey Page coming. Woman named Kelsey Reagan. Kylie Alexa will be here. Rita Raccoon. Let's see here. I had a list somewhere. One I ain't met before. Her name is T Gaines. I haven't met her yet.
Well, hope you get to go to Bayou to referee one.
I just want to get in the ring, get my feet wet, brother.
I know. No, I'm just saying. I just to see you and Pondwater on the same show, same card.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
It would be awesome. But no, good luck, damn. It's fun watching your journey.
Mm-hmm.
It
I
will
like
be.
the idea of the journal.
I'll
100%.
take right to it because he wrestled, so he already knows where to be in the ring. Once he gets he's going to be a good referee. There's no doubt in my mind about it.
I appreciate it, man. It means a lot, really, because you'll probably be one of the main ones I come to if I have a question about something.
I'll help you any way I can.
Yeah, I know you will, man. I appreciate that a bunch. You have no idea. Because I was telling Dump, I was like, man, I got 2 guys I know I can count on. And I said that just having that little peace of mind means the world to me.
Oh yeah, Doug Markham's he's such a good referee. We brutalized him at Rocket City for the very first Top Guy weekend. It was actually low key Big Hog weekend, and we were up there, and everybody just kept screaming at Doug, "Turn around, Doug!"
That's what I can't wait. I can't wait to get in there and just act like I don't know what's going on behind me, telling the babyface get back in the corner now, and I hear a bunch of noise going on behind me, and your first instinct is to turn around, but you got to play dumb and be like, I don't hear nothing. Get back in the
pretty
corner.
good about looking at who's pulled me and say, "Tell me when I can turn around." And I'll even ask them, says, "Can I turn around yet?" Because there comes a point when they've had you pulled way too long.
Yeah.
You'll install it, and you're getting buried. So you guys need to speed this crap up. I mean, I'm still wiping the dirt off of me from Amy burying me. Amy was interfering, climbing in the ring. I turned around and like, She's in the ring.
He was
She's
having
hanging-
so much fun
He's
that
hanging
night.
on to the guy. I loved it though.
I feel like if we could find a way to get her as a manager, just a couple more times, that'd be great.
Oh, it was great. Excuse me.
Oh, that's good.
Vacation's been hard on me, y'all.
Anybody show and tell for some Macho Man stuff?
One sec.
I
I
probably
wonder if
should
he's going to dress up.
I should have given Jimmy like a 5-day head start on that question, so he'd be ready for today.
You have to give him a head start. You'd be surprised how many times on Top Guy Tuesday or we got to or out on after we had a guest or something, he'd say, I have a question. And you don't get to him for 30 minutes. You know, you think he's ready.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then he's not. I give him a hard time about it all the time.
Oh, that after one was something else. The last after one where he's
Yeah.
like literally, he literally took like I want to say 2 minutes to like get to his point.
Well, before we started recording, he asked who we're covering this week, even though we've been advertising all week on
Yeah,
social media.
Yeah, and we posted in our group chat. But
Yeah.
why would he pay attention to that?
Well, he told me the topic was Macho Man. What time did he tell me the topic was Macho Man?
After he asked us in the private chat.
Probably about 20 minutes. He probably found out 20 minutes before you did.
It's okay.
Well, I knew because I'd seen the tweets.
See?
Yeah.
in our group chats, I'll aggravate the guys, and like an hour before we start recording, I'll be like, "Hey guys, what are the matches we're talking about?" And they'll flip there. They'll get so pissed. Like, seriously, you ain't watched the matches? Well, what are they? I don't even know who we're covering. Oh, they get so pissed.
Sometimes
I like how
we
they
don't
do
even
it.
get-
I like how you do it every single week, and they still think you still haven't watched it.
there's times that Justin and Amy don't get a format for the show till like 10 minutes before the show.
Oh my goodness! I don't think you guys get it. You guys don't get a format at all.
This week, Justin said this was the best format that you've ever done. I mean, it was so easy, and I think it showed. And all I could hear was quit screwing off and do this every week now.
See, that's the thing. Brad will put out an outline on like Tuesday, and so the outline's already there, and I still aggravate him on Thursday. Hey, what are the matches?
I'll say I kind of stole my outline from Brad because when I was on the show that time, he sent me the Word document, and I'm like, dude, this is like really good. So I kind of copy his format a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Nice, because you guys have a nice flow to your show. It's a great flow to your show.
You
Oh,
know,
there's
So it's at our show.
There's been a time that we've done a topic. I can't remember which one it was now, but we did a topic, and I knew I'd heard Conrad and Bruce do it, so I immediately went to Patreon and typed in the search to see if there was show notes.
What
Oh,
you got there?
so as Pondwater
Yeah.
is aware,
Talking to
I
my
know.
little guy. What do you got there? Huh? What you got there? You got a little belt there with little glasses.
did Jimmy get the Macho Man
I've had this for I've had this,
legacy belt or
yeah, I've had this
tribute
for
belt or whatever you want to call it
yeah,
in the sunglass case?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
dig it. I actually did.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty neat.
And
that matches your underwear, don't it? The color.
my underwear is blue tonight. With like oceany theme.
It's
Can you
a
actually
nice
see
belt.
out of those
It's
sunglasses?
basic. It's a basic design. I mean, it's really simple when you look at it, but it's really nice, and
Yeah.
I
got
like
the
the 3
Intercontinental.
stars.
it makes me
Is it
think
3 stars is on
Intercontinental
the
title.
flags?
The side plates make me think Intercontinental, because the Intercontinental belt's what I identify with Macho Man above any other belt.
I don't know if you can see this, but yeah, it has the picture as the Macho Man with the flare, and then the madness, and then Macho Man. Oh yeah, kind of on the one side.
Oh, that's cool. I like
I
that.
love the tip.
Actually, both sides. Oh
The tips of sunglasses with the signature.
yeah.
That's
So here's your question. The 3 stars on his tights, did they represent anything?
Yes.
On Macho Man's tights, the 3 stars did?
I don't have
Ooh,
any
I don't-
idea.
I've never heard anything about it.
Me neither. I've never heard of, because he always had them 3 stars on his tights. Well, not
There-
always, but when he had stars, it was always just 3.
Yeah,
I noticed it on the belt.
that's an interesting one.
I'm sure Jimmy is going to GTS that shit, as he likes to say.
Huh? GTS.
Yeah,
Oh.
Google that ish.
Google that shit.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, I mean, if anybody should know Eric Bischoff, it's you, my friend.
I got that off of I got that Google that shit off of line off of Scrubs.
Oh, okay.
Really?
This is where they get it from. I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know, but it was like when I was like Google that bitch.
So with Jimmy, Ben asked if you can see out of those sunglasses.
The answer, kind of. My vision is kind of bad, but I can see kind of right here.
Okay, so let me rephrase that question. I understand that you have trouble seeing without your glasses, but can you see, like, do you see those lines, or is it clear when you look through the lenses?
I can see the lines, but I can still see out.
Gotcha. I mean, it's
And you still can't see John Cena. Is that right?
Dig it. But no, as Pondwater is aware, I'm very into legacy belts.
Yes.
Yes, you are. Hence the one over my right shoulder.
And hence the one in front of my flare wall.
There's a rock one somewhere back there.
Right on.
Oh, very nice.
I'm gonna tell you guys something.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, everybody sees the collection Dave has, but it's nothing until you see it in person. I swear it's not, man.
It's not.
You don't understand how just I don't know the word for it. It's just amazing of just how much stuff it is and how far it goes back. And I mean, it's going into a second room already.
Dave, Adam, and I think stayed up to like 3.
Just going through everything.
Yeah,
Trying to.
That's awesome. It's
Trying
like a
to.
museum.
it's its own history, world history museum type of thing. Like this.
No kidding. You could walk through there 3 times, and every time you'll see something new. Every time.
Thank you.
Wow.
It's
Like-
amazing. Yeah, it's got
So I just love looking at his backdrop right now with all the wrestlers on the wall. I was thinking this before, guys. I can't wear like a t-shirt of my favorite football team. I can't wear a t-shirt of like, I feel like I got to the point in my life where I'm like, I can't wear a team on my body, right? But I have no problem wearing a wrestling shirt. I have no problem buying wrestling belts, wrestling figures. Like
Wow.
it's got to be wrestling stuff. Like I can't do it for anything else.
Pondwater, show Gallagher to your right. Get your right. Your figures to that case, that
Oh, the
giant.
AEWs.
like I said, the cameras and the pictures don't do it justice, man.
Oh,
That's just
Wow.
one case.
Dave, how
wow. That's
long, like how many years of a collection is this for you?
7.
See.
I got it.
Did you collect stuff as a kid? Like
I collected
teenager
stuff-
or
We didn't really have stuff when I was a teenager, but I had from 1998 on, I built a pretty good collection. And in 2008, 2009, and by 2010, I'd sold it all off. And then I started again in 2016 and got most of it back. And then some. I mean, I really amped it up.
98, 99, we're in 20. So about 25 years, just kind of collecting for about 25 years.
Yeah.
Building a collection. That's awesome.
Well, as long as I've been alive, yes.
What was your,
I mean, wrestling belts, we were just a small group of collectors back then. I mean, it wasn't, I mean, in 98, we were a Yahoo group.
Oh
you
wow.
know. I mean, then it really started taking off from 2008, 2009, and then on to I mean, that's when it started really blowing up, and with people being able to get belts from Pakistan, that really just
I was like, look at his
blew it
like,
wide open.
look at his like, 10 o'clock, like those 3 United States belts.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
But I just
Just
had a
just don't
picture.
do it justice, man. It doesn't really, it really don't.
No, it's definitely a place I'm dying to get to someday.
It-
Definitely look
it-
at Museum of Dave's.
It
Super
is
Dave's
a
Museum.
bucket for the AFS community. It is a bucket list of having to go to.
How do you like that, Dave? Your house is a bucket list item.
I'll take it. I appreciate it. I worked real hard on it. I got inspired by Jeff Jewett, who y'all might know him by Doo Trucking. But Jeff Jewett's collection, I mean, the way he displayed his stuff, it was just a big motivation for that. That's what inspired me to do and present everything the way that I present it.
Okay.
Like,
Do you have the?
I'm going to share my stuff. I'm going to show you a picture though. This just came up on my timeline the other day, and this was where my collection was 7 years ago.
Wow!
What a difference.
Yeah, that's 7 years ago.
Wow!
I had
and
more chairs than that, but I didn't have them out.
Oh, stay on it for a second. So we got the WWE Championship, the Winged Eagle, the NWA one. Is that
pounds
the,
of-
is that
that's
the ECW title in the upper right?
Right there,
Yeah.
that's the world class light heavyweight.
Okay. What's on the bottom?
World class Texas, a set of ring used Texas tags from the on the Independence,
Wow.
a WWE belt. That was the Winged Eagle, and that was actually the WWE Shop Winged Eagle.
Oh, no
And,
kidding.
and there's my NWA belt. That
They call that the domed globe. Is that
Dome Globe.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then that's my Super Dave custom on the top up there.
That's awesome.
the most
Wow.
sought after, the most envious of belts ever made.
So out of curiosity, did people ever offer you money for that belt?
But the Super Dave belt, never.
Yeah.
In fact, I like to brag that it's the only belt that's probably never been bootlegged.
Pay $1,000 for it.
No, I paid more than that for it. That's a Leather Rebels.
I was making a joke. He said no one ever offered you. I was making-
Oh, I mean, yeah, Peter Ellis from Leather Rebels did that.
What was the very first belt you've ever bought or ever received?
NWA Dome Globe Figures Inc. The very first Figures Inc. version that came out.
like 2002-ish.
No, it was like 1990, 98, 99.
Hmm. Ben, do you have any?
I mean, I thought I was a badass. I used to ride around with it in my truck. I'd throw it over my shoulder. I was so proud that I finally had a wrestling belt.
Right.
And then the next ones were when the WWE came out with the Big Eagle. They came out with the Big Eagle and the Intercontinental, and I ordered both of them, and we got them just the week of WrestleMania 17. So I gave my brother the Intercontinental to carry, and I did the Big Eagle, and that was way before anybody had belts at shows. As a matter of fact, they had them at Access just on display as coming soon.
Mm.
So, I mean, people were freaking out about them. But the thing was, as cool as they were, I had no idea what a real belt felt like.
Mm.
And I paid $10 to get a Polaroid with the Big Eagle, a ring used Big Eagle, because they were raising money for some charity.
Mm.
And when I felt it, how heavy they actually were, it was a whole new world to me. And then I ordered. Then I found Reggie Parks and Dave Milliken and started ordering. And then, so my first real belt was a 3-plate Texas Light Heavyweight Championship.
Nice.
Bama,
I don't have it anymore, but I wish I did.
Bama, what was your first ever belt?
Probably is the ones I sold to Henry. It was the black Intercontinental and the blue World Champion Ultimate Warriors.
Mm.
I might have that backwards. It might have been the Ultimate Warrior had a blue belt. Which one was it? The Intercontinental or World Championship?
Both.
World Championship.
I think it was the World Championship and the Black
I
Intercontinental
think he did that.
Championship.
I think the Ultimate Warrior had a blue Intercontinental also.
He might. I mean,
It was a
I
light.
will default to
say-
your belts.
I think it was a light. Wasn't a
Light blue.
Like a light blue, and I think it had the Black Intercontinental with the red, like Randy Savage's red letter.
Yeah. I always liked when they changed the color of the strap. I know not everybody's a big fan of that. I always liked it.
like the gold, like the oval IC title. I thought that was kind of cool with when gold does have the gold strap. I think it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was awesome. Like I love when they did that stuff towards that character. Macho Man did that, Warrior did that. I thought it was great.
I
Show-
recently saw that belt, and it still has some gold on it, and the gold leather. It's still painted. I mean, the leather's still dyed gold, but it cracks real bad. I mean, that's the problem with color leather, that it will crack.
Oh yeah.
And what's the most Adam, what's the most prestigious one that you currently have?
That I have.
Adam.
Oh,
And you too.
Yeah, both y'all.
I don't know. I like the WWE Championship belt, but something about the U.S. title is great. But I mean, the
Which
Rock
belts
Championship belt's
Adam, which belts you got?
got WWE World or WWE Championship, the U.S. title, not the new one, and not the one you have. The one after Cena.
Okay.
The Rock's title, and then 2 tag team championship belts.
That's awesome, man.
And my son has 3 or 4 in his room.
Oh, no kidding. Nice little man cave with those belts on there. Jimmy, what was your first belt?
The one that you have,
Which one?
the first one I got you,
The championship belt? I mean, the spinner?
the spinner.
Nice.
When I was 18 years old, I bought my first spinner.
I had my first spinner when I was 18.
I gave you that one. It was funny.
Nice.
Classic. When I was I had that when that was the first belt I ever bought, but when I was moving out of my brother's trailer into my apartment that night, I overheard this lady talking about just her giving her son John Cena and spinner, and I was so moved that I gave that away.
Oh, so you started early giving your shit away.
When I was 2018, 20. Yeah, not quite 21.
Yeah.
Still 20. It was like a month before I turned 21.
That's a great story, Jimmy.
This guy's got the biggest heart.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, I was thinking before, there's not many people in this world that I would do anything for. You're one of those people that I would do anything for, like not even like questions asked. Because I was thinking, like, we bust your balls really badly, but like it's because we love you.
It's all across the board. I know that from everybody, that
Absolutely.
from Alkari for shitting on you for having me on to
No, that's a shoot, man, and I agree with him. I don't know what I was.
I screw with him all the time, but if I don't mess with somebody, then you got to wonder if I actually even like them.
Yeah, I feel like if you don't put the brain power into messing with somebody, you don't care about them.
well, Adam over
Yep.
here for 30 minutes straight to or from
To
the
the arena.
to the arena. Him and his daughter were just nonstop, one after another after another. I almost thought I was gonna cry.
There's a group of us when we get on Zooms that we play a drinking game for every time that Jimmy mentions Japan, but we can't do that anymore because one of us got liver damage.
Yeah, when we were recording earlier for the kick out, I said, anytime anybody says shout out, we take a shot.
I like that. That's a good idea.
That's a common thing, isn't it? So
Shout
many
out.
shout outs to give.
But
What, drinking, Ben?
No, the amount of shout outs on the show.
But I
Yeah.
appreciate Adam I appreciate all of you for showing off your belts. Adam has probably the most that I've given to.
Yeah.
All of those. And
I
One or two
can't
my
begin
son
to tell
has.
you. I can't
Huh?
begin to tell you how proud I am of mine. I mean, I've been trying to figure out a way to get it incorporated into the wall. But right now it just sits, but it sits right in front of the wall right now. I mean, and then of course he gave me that mask from Japan. It's right here.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, it's always on my desk.
The mask, right?
Dave, did he go to Japan to get that?
That's the only reason he went.
Yes. Yes.
Adam, where's your Ray Fury mask?
That's
Hey.
Fury mask on the wall.
Yep, that's it.
That's
Did you
awesome.
wear? Did
My
you
Fury
wear?
my Fury mask is right up here.
Did you wear it down the road when you were driving from Pondwaters?
I
That's cool.
cannot confirm or deny that.
Very, very cool. Ben, do you have a belt?
No, I've always wanted the winged eagle, but I just one of those things I've just never got around to doing. So
You don't know you want them until you have them. It's like they're like tattoos. Like you don't like them until you start having them, then you get addicted to them. That's
Yes.
the belts.
Yeah, I could say that belts are, I tell you they're not addictive, but
You'd be
I
lying.
mean, I got 75 of them. They're addictive.
You know
Dave,
what?
is that a fly swatter behind you?
It's a
That's-
fan.
It's a fan. Is that who is that Stan Hansen?
Yeah. I got this on eBay.
Oh my
No,
goodness.
no. I got it on
Wow.
one of the auctions. It was a High Spots or during, everybody was doing auctions during the pandemic.
Yeah.
So I got this fan that's got Stan Hansen and it's autographed. And then on the other side, it's the Hansen and Brody autograph. And they both sides are autographed by Stan Hansen.
That's pretty awesome. That's really cool. I'm
So-
looking at that. I'm
so
like
Dave,
upside down.
please
Huh?
tell me that you call it Fan Hansen.
I do now.
I'm not gonna lie. I think we need to combine
Joke off.
2 segments into one tonight. Into Waka Waka Jonesy's jokes.
I didn't even write none down. I did some for the show earlier.
No, Adam's going to listen to my jokes and then steal them.
So
You know-
I also wrote down Miss Elizabeth. Just can't talk about the Macho Man without even just mentioning Miss Elizabeth. And I never bought her as a heel in the NWO, but I thought she looked the best when she was with the NWO.
Oh,
She was much hotter.
black
Yeah.
top Liz. Oh,
Yeah.
she was so classy though. I mean, she was just class. I mean, she looked classy every time you saw her.
Yep. And I think Macho Man's theme music suited her more than it did him because it was very prestigious and elegant.
Yeah.
Has anybody here ever gone to a graduation and when the music hit, not gone, oh yeah.
Oh,
Exactly.
during my graduation, I went like this.
Went to a college graduation recently and they were playing that. And every time Stephanie looked at me, I was going,
I mean, you can't not.
Well, when I was when we did the Top Guy thing, I was debating on what Evan messaged me and like, what do you want your entrance to be? I'm like, I don't know. I thought about Macho Man's theme.
That would be cool. What did you pick?
I picked. I was like one of Jeff Jarrett's themes. I was like, My World or With My Baby Tonight.
Oh, okay.
but I mean,
I
think
came
about
up-
that though, that
That was
Pomp and Circumstances, the Randy Savage song.
Yeah.
I mean, to the same level that 2001: A Space Odyssey is Ric Flair's song.
You cannot listen to that without
Yeah.
going, woo!
Those I don't know of any other songs that you could think of. Now, I mean, maybe Cult of Personality is now going to always be CM Punk's song, but I mean, those are two iconic.
Pieces of art.
They're not like radio. They're not your typical music lyric songs. They're musical pieces.
Yeah.
They're scores. That's what I'm looking for. They're scores that will always be tied. Nobody will hear Pomp and Circumstance without thinking Randy Savage.
Of course not.
It's like Jimi
and I
Hendrix
don't
with
think-
Hogan.
I was
Yeah.
like, Hendrix with Voodoo Child, or even as simple as NWO's theme song. It was all mostly instrumental with Neil Pruitt with new world order sort of over the top of it. Other than that, like you can't. It was
I think he's talking more about songs that we'll hear in the mainstream or we'll hear in our everyday life that we always equate to wrestling, like a Pomp and Circumstance, like 2001 Space Odyssey, like NWO stuff never got played on the radio. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Don't
mean,
forget about
also-
DDP.
I don't think that any other wrestler would have suited those songs or the music that Dave mentioned either. I can't imagine another wrestler coming out of Pomp and Circumstance.
no.
or Real American.
Yeah, Real Americans.
Well, Real American was originally used for Mike Rotundo and Barry Windham
Yeah.
Yeah.
before Hogan got it.
So
After Hogan, it was Pat Patterson and Gerald Briscoe.
it's just that they took. I mean, it's basically licensed music.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Pomp and Circumstance eventually went into
That might have been public
domain.
Yeah.
But so maybe probably one more for currently Rev Theory's voices. You think of Randy Orton if you're
Yeah, but I'm not talking about songs with lyrics. I'm
That's
talking about musical scores.
musical. Okay. Sorry.
I mean, they came from movie soundtracks. Well, Pomp and Circumstance did. I mean, Pomp and Circumstance, I think, was used in Days of Wine and Roses.
Mhm.
And then of course 2001 was from the soundtrack for. I mean, it's not really 2001. It's Alts
Yeah.
something
Alt Pride.
Sparata.
Yeah. It's some cool.
Sparata. It's just. I mean, you'll always. I mean, if you grew up in the 80s, you can't listen to the radio without you hear Smooth Operator. I think about Rick Rude. When I hear She's Got Legs, I'll either think about not She's Got Legs, Sharp Dressed Man. I'll think about Jimmy Garvin and the Fantastics. When I hear LaGrange, I think about the Von Erichs. When I hear Stranglehold, I think about the Von Erichs. When I hear Tom Sawyer, it'll always be Kerry Von Erich. When I hear Eye of the Tiger, it's Hulk Hogan.
Yep.
It's you go back and Hank Williams Jr. You can't judge a book by looking at the cover. I'll think about Dusty Rhodes. So it's just
How about what's the name of Takers? Like just the instrumental.
Of the Death March, the Funeral March.
Yeah.
Funeral March.
As simple as that one was, it's
I
just.
don't know. Jim Johnson has a different name for it.
But you know my point, though. It's just like
Yes.
Yeah, and
So-
even Daniel Bryan with the Flight of the Valkyrie.
Yeah.
Right.
Is there any other one I can think of?
So you guys want to talk some Macho Man matches? What are some of your favorite Macho Man matches?
Oh, where do you start? Because I would say that he was the original Mr. WrestleMania. Like if you look at his matches from 3, 4, 5, 7, and 8, like they were unmatched.
I
Hey,
think
you
you're-
you,
I
you,
think you're
you can say
absolutely
Macho Man and anybody, and
For me, it's
Can't
Macho
go wrong.
Steamboat. Macho Steamboat from WrestleMania 3.
it is.
I mean, and then there's nothing else that's even close for me.
I was gonna say Hogan. Is it Hogan? Savage at Starrcade 96 or 5? I think it was 6.
Are you talking about Starrcade or WrestleMania?
Halloween Havoc. I believe it was Halloween Havoc. Those two. I don't think he faced Piper at Starrcade those 2 years.
The one
Okay.
that he made, the one that he really made DDP a star in, stands out as a good match too.
How Havoc it was Halloween Havoc 96.
Yeah,
But-
yeah, Havoc 96 was a good match. That was when Piper came back.
Taking the diamond cutter.
But that I was gonna say I think it was Spring Stampede 97 versus Diamond Dallas Page. That was phenomenal, those matches.
What was this? Did it kick off in 6 and 7? Oh, no. It was all in 97 when you had that DDP feud.
One thing I realized, well, not realized, I shouldn't say that, but one thing that I noticed while I was doing some research on Macho Man was the guys he had the best matches with, he had his best feuds with. Like I never really saw him have a one-off match. Maybe Steamboat, but he kind of had a feud with Steamboat for a while.
Oh yeah, crushed his throat. That was the
But I've never
Yeah.
really seen Macho Man in like a one-off match that have been like, oh, that's that one was good. It's usually the matches that he does well in, or the matches I remember, the ones he's feuding with. The Ric Flairs, the Diamond Dallas Page, the Hogans, even his
about Jake the Snake.
Jake the Snake is right here, my friend. You're absolutely right.
90, like when he is kind of, there was tension between him and Hogan and spring of 98 after Super Bowl.
You know what? I'll say this: they managed to keep their feud interesting for about 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Or about 12 years, I should say. But still, because even when they came back together in the late 90s, like you were saying, it was still interesting.
I mean, because Hogan was the leader of the NWO, and then you had Macho Man, who arguably was number 2, like star wise. I mean, you had the outsiders, yes, but then that was like a start of the dissension between Hollywood and Wolfpack.
You know, I never cared for Macho in the NWO.
I agree with you.
I didn't think he
Yeah.
was. I don't know. I never thought Hogan was as cool as Nash and Hall. And I never thought Savage was as cool as Nash and Hall.
No,
You know what I mean? And I don't mean that disparaging. It just means it didn't fit.
yeah.
I honestly think that Randy Savage should have been Mr. WCW. He could have probably led the troops against the NWO and never became NWO. Would have probably, for me, probably would have fit better. It's just my perception of him by that point. I mean, it sounds so ugly when you say it. I didn't see him much different than I saw Beefcake, Earthquake, Typhoon, everybody else that was, it was Hogan's entourage at that point.
Yeah, you got lost in the shuffle.
Right.
I was like, Beefcake is just Beefcake in general.
Well, it's just that Hogan's whack pack for, lack of a better term.
Oh yeah, no, I just never saw.
I didn't feel like Randy. I'm not saying Randy wasn't cool. I'm just saying I didn't think he was the same. He didn't fit into that cool heel role.
Okay.
It was hard enough with Hogan for me. Because Hogan, it was the cartoon guys are here.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
They had that cartoon stink on them from WWF.
so I have a question for you. And that's, I think it was like that summer of 99-ish when he had brought in Gorgeous George. What do you think of that dynamic?
I liked it.
Roll Tide.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I thought that, that worked. I thought that worked really well.
I liked his little stable. I liked when he teamed up with Medusa and Molly Holly, and that was another interesting little version of the Macho Man.
He was getting back to what worked. I mean, it was a throwback to Sherry.
Yeah.
The Mr. Madness.
Yeah, it was a nice little character. It was cool. I wish he would have went out a better way. I mean, his last match was at TNA. I don't really remember it. I didn't watch it live. But I kind of feel like he just unceremoniously just kind of faded in the background. And I think that it's a shame he never really got his chance to get his flowers, as Conrad likes to say.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, at least he finally came to grips with getting older. Because, I mean, throughout his WCW, when he was paranoid of losing a spot, or I mean, he was always paranoid of losing that, but like of his gray hair, because he always dyed his hair black, and then as you saw, probably post 2003 ish.
I don't think it was about his spot so much, Jimmy. I think he was always I think he was tortured by his personal relationship.
Fair.
I don't know that I buy into that he was threatened by.
No. I say spot. I mean, just like losing his edge.
Maybe. I think that his whole relationship I think he was haunted by his relationship with Liz. I mean, it's not unfair to think that if you bring a beautiful woman to the wrestling business, that everybody's going to try to screw her.
Right.
So you're having to keep your eye on the boys. And he's not wrong for that.
No.
Because he was one of the first ones to ever do that. So
I wonder why do it in the first place, though, if he's like that.
Yeah. So I think he was really tortured by it.
Tortured, and then
that may be the big. I mean, that's if he's paranoid about anything. I think that's what he was paranoid about.
Fair. I
finally found my first belts. It was the blue winged eagle and the black Intercontinental.
Nice.
You mean white? What you mean white?
That's a light blue.
Winged eagle.
Light blue winged eagle.
The lavender one. And actually, that was Ultimate Warrior Sergeant Slaughter.
There it is.
Yeah, that's right. The Slaughter belt was that light blue one. Yes.
I think WCW was good for Randy because if he stayed at WWF, he was just going to be an announcer, and he hated that apparently. So it was good that he had the opportunity to get back in the ring.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Boost.
Go ahead, Bama.
I'm just saying it was a big confidence boost. You're right, Bam.
I don't really remember a bad, but what's great about Macho Man is like I don't remember him really. We kind of said he just kind of faded into the background, but I also don't remember ever thinking Macho Man lost it either.
Right. I think that was in his own head. I think when he got in his own head too much.
I think it started in WWE whenever they put him on the commentary and they started the younger movement. That might have started some of his doubts.
I say when Vince said, "Oh, we're gonna go in a youthful movement," and when he's saying when he hears youthful, like when he hears you're too old to be,
but he wasn't too old.
That's exactly right.
I mean, he was only 40. He was only 40.
Exactly, but I mean, in his mind though, he had something to prove.
Yeah,
continuously for the next.
I mean, he was always in shape. You never saw Macho Man when he wasn't in shape.
Right.
What about Macho Man Tito Santana? They had great matches.
Yeah.
Well, Macho Man apparently pitched to Vince to work a program with Shawn Michaels,
which would have been awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it would have been better than because the Macho Man have a feud with Brett, and I'm being serious. I don't know this.
He had a match with Brett
on Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, that was pretty solid.
But not a program.
No.
Okay.
Maybe that's the one-off match that Macho Man has. What about some fantasy booking, guys? We'll go around real quick. One guy you would have wanted the Macho Man to fight that he never fought. Let's start with you, Mr. Jones.
Macho Man versus The Rock.
I like that. About you, James?
Macho Man versus Austin.
Okay. Bama?
They wrestled in WCW.
Well, Stone Cold gimmick.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing if I could just pick anybody.
Anybody.
It would be Macho Man and AJ Styles.
I like that. About you, Dave?
Macho Man and Magnum TA.
I've been awesome too.
Hmm.
How
I
about
didn't hear
you?
you, Ben. I'm sorry, but I didn't hear you.
What, Adam?
Who did you say, Ben?
Oh, I said The Rock.
Okay. I talked over somebody. I'm sorry. I'm an asshole.
Gallagher.
Oh, well, I don't feel so bad then.
And I said Magnum. I said Magnum TA.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I usually don't say him because I'm not a big fan, but I wouldn't mind seeing Macho Man and CM Punk. I think it would have been a decent match.
Similar body style.
Yeah. Because Macho, I mean, CM Punk, you know, he did the star stuff partly for Macho Man and stuff like that. So I thought it was kind of cool, but I can't really think of another guy. You know what? Dean Ambrose or Seth Rollins versus Macho Man would be nice.
Seth
I
Rollins.
think Seth would be.
Yeah. I mean, I just imagine all right, so who's the heel, who's the baby in there? Macho versus Seth.
Seth.
That's the heel.
That's the hill.
Yeah.
I could hear Macho trying to lay it out with Mox.
Yeah.
Mox would be telling it so he goes, well, what you're telling me, brother, is you want me to stick a light tube in your ass.
They stick you with a spoon and a fork.
This
You're
might
gonna-
kind of. This
And
might
you're gonna bleed on me. No, I don't think that works for me.
wide, but this just came into my head.
Uh-oh.
Macho Man versus Matt Cardona.
I don't
feel-
think that would be a bad match.
I feel like that could go.
Actually, Macho Man was ahead of his time because now in an era that everybody lays their matches out, I think Macho Man could work with anybody.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
Macho
normally
Man
the only
Owen
knock.
Hart.
I bet you that match. I mean, the biggest criticism anybody ever gives of Macho Man is, hey, I couldn't work with him because he had to lay it all out. He wanted to go. He wanted to have like 10-page script, and I can't remember it. I got to get out there and feel it. So he was ahead of his time wanting to plan his matches out. But today, yeah, you could pick anybody on either roster, and he'd probably have a good match with them because they're all laid out.
Yeah.
I think that's why him and DDP work so well.
Because DDP liked to do that too.
And yeah,
Another one to be Macho Man Owen Hart.
who's the heel in that match?
Macho Man.
I think Owen.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Go either way with him, really.
You could
Depends
go.
which version of Owen Hart you're talking about, really.
I could see Macho Man and Owen Hart being a tag team as like second generation guys, right? The
Yeah.
young brothers. But then I could see Owen Hart turning on Savage and being the heel in that case, and just kind of be like, you know, yeah, you're the younger brother, but you're still the better brother. Well, I'm still, you know, I still have to shine my brother's shoes or whatever. I could see
So
Owen
I
Hart.
kicked your knee out from under your knee, or your leg out from under your leg.
Exactly.
I say King Owen / a little bit of King Owen and Slammy Award winning Owen mixed together.
Absolutely. You start him off as a babyface tag
why
team,
can't
and
we
then
get
you
it
have
right?
Owen
So
turn heel on Macho Man. I think that's how that works.
Pondwater. How you book it?
I think you put Lanny on the other side.
Hmm.
Put Lanny with Brett.
Oh.
And Stu with Owen? Or
Oh, you could get really fancy, and you could put Stu with Owen and the mom with Brett, and have the whole family torn up.
There you go. Hearts versus Puffos.
Yeah, then you have Angelo Poffo against Stu Hart on the other side.
Yeah,
Still would kill him though.
So you have Angelo with you had this Angelo in their corner.
Yeah, but what if they actually got into the ring in their heyday? Who would you go, Angelo or Stu Hart?
oh,
it's got to be Stu.
Stu with the stretching.
What about a walking stick on a pole match?
Don't stretch my dad, Stu.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Jimmy, that's great.
Come here, you big bastard.
these are great impressions, and I think what we're gonna do this week for so usually what we do is we'll do a segment where we'll give Ben like an American slang term, and he'll try to pronounce it in his Australian accent. But I think we got a question from Whitaker today about ordering a pizza in the Macho Man voice. So I thought it would be cool if we all went around and did our best pizza order in our best Macho Man impression.
Bama's getting ready. He's got the sunglasses on.
Ready, but Jimmy, you got to put the shades on, brother.
Oh well, they're right here.
All right, cool. I got to get mine then.
Oh yeah, brother, you gotta call Domino's. Yeah,
But
you
we
gotta
should
get them. You gotta get them to order
Hey,
a large meat lovers pizza, but you gotta put. Let me tell you something, brother. The cream of the crop. You gotta put the pineapple. Oh yeah, put the pineapple on there.
What we gotta do. What we should
Have it
do.
delivered to your house.
We should get. But Mr. Gallagher, we should also get. I know, like we're doing Macho Man voices.
Yes.
We should get Ben just for once, just a one-time one-sided. He should get like an American slang, and his Macho Man voice.
Well, that's why we're doing the pizza order, because it's pretty much
yeah, I'll be saying multiple words in Macho Man's voice.
yeah.
Okay, I can hear.
Something like "fuck these guys. I don't understand what their problem is."
Hey yo, what was last week's what was the word, Gallagher?
Fuck these guys. Fuck this guy.
This fucking guy.
This fucking guy.
What do you got for us, Ben? What's your good order me a pizza in the Macho Man's voice?
Say being or Bama.
Mr. Jones.
Go ahead.
All right. So, is this Domino's Pizza, huh? Yeah, well, let me tell you something right now. I want a Hawaiian pizza, yeah. It's got the ham and the pineapple on it with melted cheese. And you know something else, brother? It better come with a plastic little white table in the middle so it keeps it all together. Thank you.
Go ahead, Gallagher.
That's me.
Excellent
All
job.
right.
That's pretty damn good.
Someone
by the way.
else.
Gallagher.
No, not me yet. I want to hear Bama
Yes.
first.
Oh yeah, bro. You gotta call Domino's, yeah. And then you gotta tell them that you want the large, yeah. And you gotta tell them you want the meat lovers. Oh yeah, the meat lovers pizza, yeah. And then you gotta tell them that you want the 2-liter to go with it. The cool 2-liter, yeah. Cool 2-liter Coca-Cola that they give it to you, yeah. And then you give them the address. Oh yeah, then you gotta tell them that I am a man in this place. Yeah. You know what I'm saying, brother? Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
Super Dave.
Well, I'm looking at the menu and you got me thinking that I can't just contain myself to 2 toppings. So I'm looking at it and I'm going to have the Supreme. And I want everything on it except olives. I hate those olives. I hate those olives like I hate that turncoat with the lust in his eyes. That pissant Hulk Hogan. I hate the olives. And if I see 1 olive on my pie, I'm going to climb up onto your counter and I'm going to drop the elbow, dig it? Also, let's cut back on the cheese because as you can tell by the way I talk, I'm already a tad bit constipated.
Oh, brilliant.
James,
Gallagher, you first.
you want to go me first? All right. So, all right. So I'm ordering a pizza, but I'm a pretty boring guy, so I only like the mozzarella cheese on it with some red sauce. But don't put anything else on it, my man. No pepperoni, no sausage. That shit makes my stomach turn, brother. But make sure you don't forget to put the chocolate cake in the oven so the lava cake melts, my friend, because if it doesn't melt, then I don't know what else to eat it, brother.
Good
Lava
job.
cake. Oh, you guys
I can't wait to hear the replay on this one.
eating chain pizza.
Doesn't matter if it's Domino's or Pizza Hut. The cream will rise to the top with the Slim Jim. You dig it? And it's beyond supreme. It's Macho Madness. It's gonna be the best pizza ever. Dig it. Oh, yeah.
Jimmy, that was awesome. And you just named the
Good job, Jimmy.
Macho Madness is the name of the pizza.
Macho Madness Supreme.
Macho Madness Supreme. I just like the Macho
That was-
Madness.
It's funny because I just finished my Supreme pizza I had about an hour ago.
Oh, sweet. See, Jimmy,
That was
that's how
great.
somebody eats on camera without bringing attention to it.
Yeah, I eat pizza and chicken nuggets, right?
Tomorrow's payday, so I
We get more. You get some more ice cream.
I barely paid it. I barely had enough to pay for the ice cream, but like
I'll tell you, Bluebell has a oatmeal cream pie ice cream that is incredible.
Ooh.
The other night, my wife made some oatmeal cranberry cookies, and I took the cranberry oatmeal cookies and I crumbled them up in the Bluebell oatmeal cream pie ice cream, and I mean, it took it to another level.
we gotta have that at Thanksgiving on Pondwater. We're not for
We can do
Thanksgiving.
that.
Bluebell ice. So the Bluebell, the cheese. Oh my goodness, Bluebell ice cream. I'll tell you, said something. They make a oatmeal cookie protein. Bodybuilding.com makes an oatmeal cookie protein, and it's unbelievable. So I can only imagine how much better the ice cream tastes versus a protein shake.
Let's see. Could had a cookies and cream protein that came out. It's actually quite good.
I've been on a Shark Tank kick here lately, and some of this stuff that they're creating, like plant-based protein stuff that they're coming up with. I mean, I've peanuts and other stuff they're coming up with. They got like plant-based chicken, and it's got so much protein and stuff in it. It's insane what they come up with now.
Yeah.
Ghost makes a protein that's 20. It's a plant-based protein. It's 24 grams a serving. It's like that's and the normal one's 28. You can't beat that.
It's
Adam,
insane,
my-
man.
I'm getting my protein from a cow, and if God didn't want me to eat that cow, he'd have made him fight better.
There you go.
There it is.
Have you seen the one where like the with like the one that protein that looks like a Tide Pod?
Yes. I've the Vade Nutrition.
Something yeah, it was like
Yeah.
looks like a freaking Tide Pod, but you put it in the thing and the plastic dissolves or whatever, and it's like man.
It's-
Plastic dissolves and it goes everywhere. Yeah.
Congratulations, Jimmy can now eat Tide Pods safely.
That explains a lot.
Yes,
Yeah.
you dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be probably that's one of many spit takes that have happened.
Oh, I
So,
love
Ben,
it.
you got some questions for us?
We sure do. So first up is Brad Stanton from the Kick Out crew. Make
No,
sure you
sir.
follow those guys.
No ball jokes, Jimmy. Just
I'm kidding, sorry.
All right. So he asks, could anybody be better in Spider-Man as Bonesaw? So my
No.
first thought was perhaps Scott Steiner because of his overall look.
I didn't even think of that. I didn't think of Steiner.
Rowdy Piper.
Ooh, he would have been a wild man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's not.
Roddy Piper's probably the good. Yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody we talked about this on our episode a few weeks ago.
I'm surprised, honestly, when you think back on it, I'm surprised they used an actual wrestler.
Maybe Rick Steiner.
3 minutes of playtime.
As crazy as Scott was on his, as crazy as Scott was on his promos, Rick Steiner, you can't overlook him on like
There
as
you
a
go. Yeah.
dog face
But
gremlin.
yeah, the
That's not
Piper
bad,
one
Jerry.
makes sense.
Braun Breaker
Um,
probably good.
Yeah.
The new Braun Breaker probably could, not the old one.
What about a young Brock Lesnar?
Mm. As long as Paul Heyman is his mouthpiece.
Well, what would the character like? What would Paul Heyman be manager?
Actually, if you're going to throw him in the cage, I don't think anybody in 1992 probably would have been better than Bam Bam Bigelow.
Ah.
Oh, good call.
When you had Bam Bam, because you had Bam Bam in Major Pain.
I mean, you get,
Yeah.
I'm just
you-
saying that somebody that was crazed that you're putting in a cage with Peter Parker,
Yeah.
that was sure enough supposed to be a ringer.
Bam
you
Bam.
know. I mean, that was a shooter. So Bam Bam would have looked good in that cage. But thinking back in 92,
Oh, it's just 2002.
2002.
Yeah, it's 2002.
Wow, I thought it was longer than that.
Ken Shamrock.
That might have been a good one.
Angle.
Shamrock, I don't think has that movie star charisma the way that
He just has that craziness though. That
he does.
What about like Angle?
How about Foley?
Foley would have been a good one too.
He could have gone full Cactus Jack. You could have put Terry Funk in there.
yeah,
Oh,
no, yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Awesome. And that
You could have put Terry Funk in there, and it would have worked.
Sabu?
If he was still alive, I'd put Bruiser Brody in there.
yeah.
I was
God,
about to
yes.
say Bruiser Brody.
I like the Terry Funk one.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Taz?
Not
Sure.
tall enough.
Eh,
That's
You also
fair.
gotta think of a guy who's believable. Not that Taz isn't. Taz would kick my ass 3 times a day and 6 times on Sunday. But
He's
I
a huge thumb.
But I just think you put him up against Spider-Man. Spider-Man just looks like a guy who's just going to wear him out. Whereas Macho Man was just, I mean, dude, he was so jacked for that role.
Oh,
That's fair.
What else you
all
got?
right. Moving on, we've got Devin Dowling. Who would you book as a modern day Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth?
Who are these assholes and where are these dumbass questions coming from?
Thank you.
Sammy Guevara.
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
dumbass Sammy Guevara fans.
mm,
Who's Sammy's girl again? Taya? Not Taya.
Like Conti.
Yeah, Tay Conti. Yeah.
Mm,
So for Devin, I'll say Sammy and Taya Conti for you.
I'm going Cardona and Chelsea Green.
I would say yeah.
What about
But-
Sammy and Devin?
Oh, my answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. hey, Adam, what do you think of Nitro Pepsi?
I think it sucks ass. It's really not that good.
All right.
But
I
I'll
would've
go with
said-
I'll go with Dave too. It's Cardona and Chelsea.
Has to be.
I would have said Jarrett and Karen, but Jarrett's so much better than Macho Man. So, you don't punch down. Y'all don't know how to respond to that. I love it.
No, caught me off guard.
Yeah.
All right. I'm next. My mate Chris Power. Hey yo.
There you go.
He asks, was Savage versus Steamboat the greatest WrestleMania match of all time?
I don't know if it's the greatest, but it's up there.
It was
I
the
said-
greatest WrestleMania 3 match.
It's probably.
I
the
mean,
Yeah.
If I had to sit here and try to name them off, I would immediately say I would say Savage and Steamboat, and then I'd have to sit here and think for a while to come up with the second one. Charlotte and Oscar.
But
Taker and
Oh,
Sean.
I said Sean Taker at the first time at Mania.
John Rick.
I say it's. I'd say it has to be up there in the top 10 at least.
Oh, top 5.
Definitely.
From a
I mean,
technical point of view, I would say top 5. I'm gonna go against the grain here. I wasn't a huge fan of the match. It was very exciting. I couldn't really follow the story in the match. And when he got the quick 1, 2, 3 out of it, I felt like they should have continued it. So I don't know, like it didn't pop for me the way it did. I think technically it was fantastic.
I think
But-
there was like 161 steps, if I remember when I watched that Macho Man documentary.
Well, I'm just saying, when I think about WrestleMania matches and you ask me, I can quickly,
Yeah.
Savage Steamboat, bam. And then I got to sit here and think.
Brett
And when-
Austin. Brett Austin.
Yeah, Brett
Yeah,
Knox,
the double turn.
Austin
Rock.
Austin Sean.
Taker Sean, Taker Triple H.
Actually, Taker Triple H from 17, I think was the best Triple H Taker match.
Yeah, it's pretty underrated.
I agree with you. They were both.
It gets lost on a stacked card.
Yeah.
And it was a match that I really wasn't. I remember that the promos to that match, like Triple H did a great job making me care about that match.
Like it's not like 3 days before he like Taker's like I might be going to jail tonight, but I'll be out in 3 days.
Well, when he runs over, when Triple H like runs him over on the motorcycle, and he's just like bending over to Taker with his sledgehammer over his shoulder, like that was like, dude, that's like.
And I remember Motorhead actually being there playing Triple H to the ring live.
What's that?
And Motorhead was there to play Triple H to the ring live.
Because you were at 17, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
Oh, that's all. That was. I can't say it for sure because I don't want to commit to it, but that got to be my favorite WrestleMania.
Brett Sean.
Mm-hmm.
Angle Guerrero.
That's right.
Okay.
Guerrero was
The triple
fantastic.
threat with Benoit, Angle, and Benoit, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels.
And unfortunately, I think that gets brushed aside given the circumstances of the Benoit situation.
Shawn Michaels, Jericho.
Yeah. And then
All
Angle
right.
Michaels at 21.
Man, we could
So-
talk this all night.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. So we got 2 more questions from Mike Whitaker. So if Macho Man would have stayed with WWE, do you think he would have got back in the ring?
Yes.
When?
First time Vince needed him.
Who do you think if he
First
does?
time he needed to put somebody over.
Mhm.
I was like, who do you think who would have been that guy in like
Sean.
95?
Sean.
Sean.
Dawn. Yeah, for sure.
Hey, can you forget Razor Shawn WrestleMania 10?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The
Oh, Brett
which is
Owen.
another action figure they unveiled. They're having a Brett and Sean
Yeah, I saw that too.
ladder
Sean
match
and-
action figures with a great big 10 on the back of the Roman numeral 10 on the back of the box.
Yeah, I saw that. Cody's got a new one coming out too.
It's pretty impressive. The packaging, I don't know if the packaging that they're doing on some of these action figures. Have you seen the Muhammad Ali one yet?
Yes.
It's a
haven't seen
2-pack,
that one.
and they actually do art on the plastic. So when you open it up, like Ali's fighting and Inoki's on his back in that wrestler boxer match, and then you got another one where Ali's punching, and they have somebody on the plastic.
I know we're talking about Macho Man, but would you say that probably one of the greatest celebrity crossover type of like crossover type of matches with Ali and Inoki?
It drew. I mean, it's a horrible match, but it drew. Yeah, it was
I mean,
tremendous.
just on paper.
Yes. Oh yeah.
It was Muhammad Ali, of course, but yeah, at the time, pretty cool.
All right. Final question. If you could see Macho Man versus anyone on today's roster, who would it be?
Styles. LA Knight.
Yeah.
Are we talking WWE or just in wrestling in general?
Wrestling in general.
JF.
Adam Cole, baby.
Macho Man would kill Adam Cole.
It'd be a fun match to watch, though.
Be good. It would be good. It would.
Yeah.
Here you go. Macho Man, Kenny Omega.
There you go.
Yeah, laying it out. That would work.
Macho Man.
But I'm not sure
Oh,
Macho.
Macho Daniel Bryan.
Hmm.
He might be a little too technical for Macho, though.
Macho Roman. I think Macho Roman would be good. Macho Cody would be real good.
Yeah.
Oh, good call. Macho Cody.
Macho Cody, Macho Seth.
I say you
I-
also.
Man, I think he just matches up with Roman though.
I say you also Roman. So Macho Cody. Did Macho ever face Dusty?
Yeah,
in
because
1990.
when Dusty was in polka dots.
Okay.
I think SummerSlam 90, they had a 1-on-1, but at WrestleMania 6, they were in a mixed tag.
Since you said Macho Seth, I can't get that out of my head now. I mean, that's probably my call. Macho Man Seth.
For sure.
Just because of the styles.
Just because can you imagine how good them two would look, make each other look?
The promos from Seth Rollins.
Hey, you're gonna think I'm crazy.
We already do.
Macho and Logan Paul.
Dude, I love Logan Paul.
I do too.
I think he's done such a great job.
He plays it so well. And the funniest thing is like he hates being booed, but it's like, dude, you play it so well.
He does. And you know what? He paid his dues doing the boxing thing, you know, and I think if you pay your dues in one aspect, I think that's okay. And
He takes it serious.
he does. And he does
Give me Logan Paul a year from now. When he's got more experience. I know he's good, but give me more
he was great at
experience.
WrestleMania in Dallas, and he just kept getting better.
Well, he looked good against Roman too.
I thought he should have gone over Roman in Saudi Arabia.
Oh God.
You're right.
I would say
How much publicity would they have got? All the play they would have got if he had been
a
champion.
lot.
I'm
and-
telling you,
Oh,
he went live on Instagram before he went to the ring in Jeddah. I think it was in Jeddah. It was in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And he hit live and he went Instagram live and he was only on there for a couple minutes and he got 75,000. It peaked at 75,000 viewers. When he
Wow.
set that phone down, because he was doing that elevator.
Yeah.
He set that phone down is when the viewers started dropping off. But the high point of that live was 75,000 viewers that quick.
same.
Almost 100,000 people just tuning in to see one guy. I mean, I know the hardcore fans won't like it, but I think the 80 to 90% of the rest of us would understand why that makes sense.
I'd say the vocal minority would have been pissed,
Yeah.
but it would have been funny as hell.
The wrestling
yeah.
purists would have been upset, but
But
Yeah,
it,
but it's not like he was David Arquette. I mean,
Yeah.
he performed his ass off. And now that we've talked about it a minute, if we could just take anybody from any era to go against the Macho Man, I would take Eddie Guerrero at the time that he was going against JBL
Thank you.
against
Thank
Macho
you.
Man.
I was gonna say Eddie.
That era, Eddie Guerrero and Macho Man would have been good.
that 03, 4, 5 Eddie Guerrero. Oh my goodness gracious. The heel aspect of Eddie on that. Because especially with Ray when you
And you put Elizabeth back with him and the whole Mamacita. I mean, and him doing that, flirting with Elizabeth.
that flirting and just also being kind of that
And it has to be Elizabeth because you never believed that he cared about Gorgeous George. I mean,
right.
you knew he loved Liz. George was fun. That was his, okay.
Right.
Liz is gone. I'm banging strippers now.
Gotta like smile
Hey.
when he does it. She can't she's got to sell it for Eddie.
I said
Yeah, I mean-
there's
Much
that connection with Liz.
Yeah.
He's looking
Ma-
at her with that
Macho
Latino
Man.
lust in his eyes.
I was going to say, Macho Man had lust in his eyes for Gorgeous George.
Yeah.
But back to Eddie though. Just hola mamacita, orale vato loco. What's up, Bessie? Want to come take a ride on my lowrider?
That was mildly racist, Jimmy.
But it still was better than his Macho Man impression.
Yeah, he
I was
did.
going to say, at least you do impressions of Eddie Guerrero.
We've learned things about Sorensen tonight.
What about
All right,
Macho
so that's
Man
it for
Randy
the-
Orton?
Oh,
Can I just say that I pop every time Gallagher turns around and spins that belt? I don't think it gets spun more
Gallagher,
this episode.
Gallagher, go get the other belt.
It's
I'm not getting
always spinning.
Okay, he has a rule in his house.
There's a rule in my house. What's the rule in my house, Jimmy?
You tell it.
If my belt isn't spinning, somebody's got to get up and spin it.
Both of those usually are spinning. His WWE John Cena spinner and that one.
So anytime somebody comes inside, I tell them the rule is if it's not spinning, you got to get up and spin it.
I've still got my US spinner
That's
that I
awesome.
bought. I gave my nephew, Steph's nephew, I gave him the world championship spinner.
Yeah.
And I wish I wouldn't have now in hindsight, but I kept the US spinner for a long time. I mean, it's the original one that WWE came out with in their shop. But every time I wanted to sell it, my wife would throw a fit. Because I mean, to me, I've always said that it is the short bus of wrestling belts.
I like it. Like I said, Cena for me, like you four old men have Hogan, Macho Man, Michaels. You Dave would be the Von Erichs. But I had Cena.
Yeah.
Well, but so finally I gave her the belt. So it's your belt now. That one's yours. So that's it. But I still got it and it still spins.
It's the best thing. I'll put that thing on and walk around the house and just spin it like during my work day.
That was the best thing Cena ever did, though. The best gimmick, anything that Cena ever did. The thing that Cena did as a gimmick that pops me more than anything else.
What was that?
Pumping up his sneakers.
Yeah.
That's old school.
Got one more for you. Randy Savage, RVD.
Yeah.
Would
I like Randy Savage, Randy Orton, though.
Would Randy Savage put up with getting stiff, though, on those kicks?
Big match with Piper.
What's that?
Did he ever have a big match with Piper? Like, I'm sure they fought each other in WCW, like on a
in WCW. I'm pretty sure that happened.
Like, did they ever fight like the late 80s? Like in that time?
I think a few house shows, but no program.
I would like to see like 86, 87 Piper versus 87, 88 Macho Man.
So
I think that's on YouTube somewhere.
I know this has happened.
Cool.
But I kind of want to see it in a different way. Because you know how Andre the Giant hated baby oil?
Sure.
Because he told Macho Man, no baby oil. But I would like to see it that way, just to see how much more of how Andre just could have tolerated the baby oil.
Savage versus Piper on Monday Nitro. Roddy Piper, Ric Flair. No.
That popped Bama a little bit.
The only thing that's coming up on YouTube, well, there's Roddy Piper talks about Macho Man. He did a Piper's Pit with him.
Oh, okay. That'd be fun to watch.
Yeah, I remember those ones from '85.
I
have a question.
Piper's Pit with Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth. But Piper was a heel, so I mean they weren't against each other.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But it looks like the only time that they actually met in the ring against each other would have been WCW.
Yeah, and it probably wasn't that great of a match. They probably rushed it. They probably had like 5,000 people run in.
So I don't think this ever happened, but what if Macho Man had a talk show segment? What would it be called?
The Madness.
Yeah,
Macho Madness.
yeah.
Madness TV.
Or MTV.
There you go.
I think it's a shame that
Gallagher.
that he pissed Vince off so bad that he didn't get brought back while he was still alive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I mean, I think he would have
of course he would have.
eventually.
Everybody else did.
Right, you brought back Warrior eventually. Well, I think maybe in that 14 he could have been. He should have been brought back sooner.
Yeah, he really pissed him. He must have really pissed him off.
Because what if when the invasion angle happened, or slightly after, we had Macho Man debut in that 01-02 era. Come back.
I don't know if he would have fit.
Did you ever see Macho Man as anything other than WWF though?
No.
But I mean, you bring him back on the WWF side though.
Ben, did you?
I wish I would have enjoyed Macho Man as much when he was alive as I do now that he's not with us anymore. I remember him more. Death has softened my stance on him, and I've come to appreciate him a lot more than I did when he was alive.
I think in WWF he was one of the rare guys that had the whole package. Like he had the character, he had the promos, he had the in-ring work, and there weren't too many guys like that. The only other guy I could think of was like Mr. Perfect.
He was larger than life. I mean, when you looked at him, you knew he was somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was very flamboyant. I mean, he was very, charisma out. I mean, just incredible charisma. He was definitely a star. I mean, think about when he was on Arsenio.
Yeah.
That was a great episode. Well, that was a great interview.
We say that's probably one of the highlights of Arsenio.
Yeah. I think so.
I've gone back and watched. I'm like, there's not too many segments you think of when you think of Arsenio Hall.
Not really, but it was a good show. I mean, used to watch it every night.
Yeah. What was I going to say? So, one thing cool about this episode was I feel like we managed to talk about Savage like the entire episode, which was pretty cool because I think a lot of our episodes are structured a little differently, and I think this flowed a lot better. So that was pretty cool the way we incorporated it. But Mike's Music Corner, we're talking about sharing music lyrics that I've heard or that mean something to me. So I heard a great lyric from a song called The Walk, and the song called The Walk, and the gentleman's name is Meyer Hawthorne. And the song is basically about, the women in your life who you need to let go, you need to say goodbye to, but you just can't quite cut the cord, right? They're just too beautiful or too whatever, right? So one of the lyrics in the line in the song is, you might be shaped like an hourglass, but I think your time's up.
Wow.
That's a lick right there. I like it.
Right? Which brings us to, I think our time's up tonight, gentlemen. That was a nice segue for that one. But Bama, you still around there?
Well done, sir.
Thank you.
Adam,
He's refilling his pizza.
Bueller.
Sorry, I had to step out.
No, it's good. I was gonna just kind of let everybody kind of introduce themselves out, kind of summarize the show, and
Introduce themselves out. Okay.
Wait, I think you're missing some kind of jokes.
Oh
Introduce
yeah.
themselves out.
Oh yeah. The
Oh,
hottest
yeah.
segment of the show.
I'm
The
sorry.
second hottest is rising.
Segment of the world today.
The
Don't say jokes.
hottest rising segment in all of entertainment.
I didn't tell him to do that.
No, go ahead, bro. I've done mine for these. Let's go ahead.
Okay. I went to the beekeeper to get 12 bees. He counted and gave me 13. I said, "Sir, you gave me an extra." And he said, "That's a freebie."
Hey.
We popped Dave.
I was out walking the dogs and someone asked me if they were Jack Russells. I said, "No, they're mine.
All right.
They do not belong to Jack."
They don't get funnier
Okay.
when you explain them.
Yeah.
I do that when I explain when there's a lack of pop.
Ah,
There's a reason for that.
There,
All right.
that one reminds me of one I did earlier. I'd tell you about it.
I just texted my girlfriend Ruth and told her it's over between us. I'm ruthless.
See?
All right. What do you call a blind dinosaur?
I can't see a source.
A do you think he saw us?
There you go.
All right. Last one. How do fish get high?
Hmm.
With seaweed.
I know that
That one. Ben.
we're still on jokes. Bama,
bad jokes from down under. I love it.
Thank you.
Can we get one Bama? Can we get one out of Waka Waka joke?
One that he just did kind of reminded me of what I did. It was I actually did it right before I jumped on. And said he said, "I just found out my wife is cheating on me. She called and said, I'll be home in 10 to 15 minutes max. My name's Adam. Who's Max?" So it made me
Nice
think of
one.
that when he said
Yeah.
that.
I've got one I told on my show last night. It's an old Red Fox joke from way back in the day.
What you got?
This guy was in jail and he goes before the parole board. And the parole board says, "If we let you out of here today, what are you going to do?" He goes, "I'm going to go out front and I'm going to get some rocks and I'm going to knock every window out of this place." So they lock him back up for another year. Next year he comes up and he goes before the parole board and they said, "If we let you out, what's the first thing you're going to do?" He goes, "I'm going to go outside, get a bunch of rocks and I'm going to knock every window out of this place." So they put him back in. And this goes on for about 5 years. Every year it's the same answer, that he's going to knock every window out of this place. So finally he comes back after 5 years and they go, "If we let you out today, what are you going to do?" He goes, "Well, I'm going to go try to find me a good job and maybe take some nighttime courses to get a better education so I can get a really, really good job. Maybe meet me a nice woman and buy me a nice car, maybe a Cadillac convertible. And on the weekends, on Sunday, on my day off, I'm going to take my woman and we're going to get in the car and we're going to drive. We're going to go all through the country and let the wind go through our hair. We're going to listen to some music and we're going to end up out in the parking lot of this place. And I'm going to lift up the skirt on her dress. I'm going to get the garters off her stockings. I'm going to make me a slingshot. And I'm going to knock every window out of this place."
They let him out?
Have I told the pianist joke?
Yep.
Mhm.
Is it a wiener joke?
No. Well, maybe. I'll tell it again. Who cares? There was a guy who walked into a bar, just him and the bartender. Guys like, "Okay, if I show you something that you never seen, can I get free drinks for the rest of the night?" Like, the bartender's like, "Yeah." Well, guy pulls out tiny pianist, sits him on, plays the most beautiful music you ever heard, and he's like, "All right, free drinks all night." A while later, like so how'd you get that? There's the magic. How'd you get the bartender's like, "How'd you get the pianist?" And it's like, Guy takes out this bottle of Jack Daniels, tells him just to rub it, and Genie gives him 3 wishes. Bartender goes out, goes and rubs the jet bottle of Jack Daniels, and Genie pops out and asks, "What? All right, so you got 3 wishes. What do you want?" And the guy's like, "I want $1 million." All of a sudden, bartender walks out and is like, $1 million, like it starts raining ducks. Like, guy goes to the thing like, $1 million ducks. I said $1 million. And you think, and the guy's like, do you think I really wanted a 10-inch pianist?
Waka waka waka.
Jimmy, you might be shaped like an hourglass, but I think your time is up, my friend.
Boom.
Gotta go get the jam ready because you're toast.
I got one person to pop, so that's all that matters.
That was good.
That was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I like it.
Bama, where can we find you, my friend?
I'm at home. I mean, oh, you're talking about on socials, my bad.
Everybody go to Bama's house and go find him.
Well, I'm not sitting right here. I'm
home.
I'm here. Can you not see?
I'm in Bama. It's in my name.
I'm in Alabama, damn it. All right, so
Sitting in my living room, eating some pizza. That's where you can find me.
give me on my supreme pizza. So socials is Adam_from_Bama. You can catch me this weekend at New South.
Why don't you plug it?
Hopefully doing 1, if not 2 matches.
Where else can I find you?
No, Adam, where can we find you? Where can we find New South Wrestling this weekend?
All right, so I'm getting it pulled up as we speak.
All right.
So they're gonna be in Huntsville at the Salty Nut Brewery. Show starts 7:30, doors open 6:30. And it's called the Bunkhouse Stampede. Doors open 6:30, bell time 7:30. New South Pro Wrestling, Best in the South. Kinsey Page, Kelsey Reagan, Kylie Alexa T. Gaines, Green Street Posse versus the Akuta Death Society. There's gonna be a bunch of folks there, man. They're doing the championships on the line. Hunter Drake. Let's see who else is on. I mean, they got everybody posted on him, and it's insane.
Cabana Man Dan, Adam Priest.
No, Priest ain't on there, but Cabana Man's gonna be there. Like I said, the New South World Championship is gonna be on the line. Hunter Drake's gonna be there. Dylan McQueen's supposed to be there.
Priest is coming to BIW pretty soon.
Who's that?
Damian Priest is coming to BIW.
You mean
Adam Priest?
Yeah.
Okay, you said Damien.
Oh, I'm in Adam. Yes.
That'd be awesome. Damien did though.
Well, we've had Damian Priest there too, but Adam Priest is coming, and so is Cruel.
Oh,
I like Cruel. He's all right.
Cruel was great. Cruel was great to work with, interact with.
But if anybody's around the Huntsville area, go check out and go support our man Adam from Bama on his new endeavor.
Yes, but debuting, baby.
Find the guy with the striped shirt that looks like he's about to go play bingo referee.
Looks like I come from Foot Locker.
He's gonna go ref a senior citizens game.
Hey James, where can we find you?
At OG James @free on the Twitter, and then look at Little Jimmy Sorensen 97 on Instagram, and then James Sorensen on Facebook.
All right.
You can also catch the Kick Out Crew every Thursday night, every Thursday evening. We record every Thursday night and do a new show every Thursday morning. So hopefully some news coming up here soon. And I've been messaging a buddy of mine, and I found out some more news that I can tell to y'all about later.
All right, that sounds awesome.
I'll tell y'all after the recording.
Sounds good.
The great and honorable, gracious Super Dave. Where can we find you?
I'm on Twitter at Ref Super Dave PWD. You can also find me at the Talking Wrestling with Pondwater Dave, www.thepondwaterdaveshow.com, we'll take you to our YouTube channel. Please subscribe. You'll get updates. We broadcast live weekly, normally Wednesday or Thursday. And then we have the audio podcast wherever you steal your podcast at, we're there.
Wait, what are you talking? Talking what?
Talking Wrasslin with Pondwater Dave.
Talking wrestling?
Yep. Next week, we're going to have Jared Rollins, the promoter of Tri-State Wrestling, on with us. In 2 weeks, we're going to be doing the anniversary of Ric Flair's last match with the lovely and talented Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer Conrad Thompson.
Oh wow, that's great.
Nice.
That's great. That's a must watch.
And shout out to Conrad Thompson this weekend is getting inducted into that Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Waterloo.
I think he's changed the. I mean, he's changed the landscape of podcasting. He's changed the landscape of like wrestling conventions, and
He's just changed the landscape of wrestling in general.
Changed the landscape of wrestling because nobody was looking for Bruce Pritchard. Nobody was looking for Tony Schiavone. Nobody was looking for Eric Bischoff.
Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah. I mean, look how many people came off of Ric Flair's last match and got big jobs.
yeah,
Jeffrey.
Conrad Dust is real.
it really is, and it's just like we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for
That's the
Conrad.
main reason why we all know each other.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yep.
Is he a real life
That's the only
leprechaun?
reason.
yeah, exactly.
Is he a real life leprechaun? Maybe.
He's real life the best person I've ever met in my life.
That's
Yeah.
And I knew him before all this podcast stuff.
Right. Well,
Yeah, okay.
you're
I
great.
mean, my tie with Conrad Thompson is being a wrestling belt collector.
Right.
That was our common bond that brought us together. That's where our group chat came from, and everything that he's done since then was kind of a brain trust of our group chat.
Wow.
So
That's fantastic.
he came to us and said, "Hey, I'm sitting in on the Ric Flair show." And then when Starcast came up, we named Mark Nilsson. Mark Nilsson, God rest his soul, named Starcast. I named Grill and JR.
Come up with Sad News Bears.
Man, I want to say that might have been Dave Hancock.
Hmm.
It could have been Hancock that came up with Sad News Bears,
'Cause what were you called before that?
the think tank,
Think tank. Okay.
because we all
listen to
spitball
every single
ideas.
episode.
Like you say, we're doing with Starcast, and then we just start coming up with ideas for panels.
That show was great, by the way.
And we just throw stuff up against the wall and see what stuck. So, but
That's cool.
Conrad, when he did all this, I mean, it's just he was a great guy before all this, and he's just made and what we had as our group chat, he wanted for other wrestling fans.
And
So that's what pretty much the mission statement of Ad Free Show was everybody, so everybody can have wrestling friends. And I mean, I don't know how many group chats have come together. I mean, circles of friends.
He's changed so many lives that he
How many
probably
new
doesn't
podcasts have come up?
understand.
yeah, I mean, so like,
And not to mention that his shoot job as a mortgage guy, he saved me $100,000 on my loan over the course of my loan.
That's
We
incredible.
shortened he put $100,000 extra dollars in my pocket. Just showing me a better way to do what I was doing.
If that ain't a damn friend, I don't know what is, brother.
yeah, he showed you how to be bougie.
He did, because before I met him, I didn't know anything about Crown Reserve, and I didn't know anything about having a bidet.
Oh, if you don't, you think got a bidet, you're missing out.
And then I wouldn't know that Waffle House was Redneck Hibachi.
There you go.
Still have never been to a Waffle House.
We
What?
gotta fix that.
Yeah, still have never
You
been to a
son of
Waffle
a
House.
bitch.
And I've not been to a Bucky's either.
What?
Yep.
I mean,
You un-American American?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gee,
Bucky's is
Worse than
okay.
Lance Storm.
Hey Ben, where can we find us?
We are on Twitter at Zipcode Bros, and you can find me on Twitter at AFS Ben Jones.
Awesome. Well, you can find me at OnlyFans. I mean, I'm just kidding. You can find me on
hey, Free subscription.
Hey,
Yeah,
now.
it's OnlyFans / Captain Charisma's peen.
I like it. You can find me on the Twitter at Mike Gurr 0905. And we appreciate you listening. Dave, Adam, we appreciate you being on in the last second. We really enhanced our show today.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. I just had a good time hanging out with you guys.
I know it would have been.
Available.
I know it would have been better if I wasn't here, but
Well, we all can get
Maybe next week.
All right, guys. I'm gonna
Nobody argued with him. Y'all are assholes.
watch
Oh
the
Yeah.
tweets. Watch the tweets of this just on the zip code. Yeah, get rid of Sorensen. Let's get rid of Sorensen.
All right, fellas. Well, from here for the Zip Code Bros, we appreciate you listening. Good night.